holding everyone's coins is rugging everyone, and everyone's fucking doing it all over again.
Yep. Well,
Yeah,
we
Fuck
already
there'll be
have.
another. There'll be another FTX.
It's already here. It's called Athena, and it's got 20% of DAI supplied pegged to it. It's literally the Luna play all over again.
Just
What is
lingering,
it,
huh?
DeFi or is it centralized?
Is supposed to be DeFi. Athena,
Well, well,
ETHENA.
I think that's a little bit different. I'm talking about like a centralized exchange who their whole business model is to send their people into telegrams, hundreds of representatives to try to extract money from projects. That's the
Oh
business
yeah, for
model
sure.
behind a lot of these centralized exchanges. And it's
Oh yeah, for sure.
bullshit because it's literally all they do is make money off of projects, right? Like and they hold everyone's crypto, and then once a project lists on there, they start charging them all kinds of fees. They make sure that they have all this bullshit. Like there can be a couple centralized exchanges, but honestly, we have the tools now in crypto so that we don't need centralized exchanges. It's just people are fucking lazy. And we gotta like if there was a movement to like ban centralized exchanges, I would be all over that shit. Fuck
Yeah.
that. We don't need it, man. Like I'm telling you, bro.
So to
Like that.
answer your question, average. Sorry, because I just want to answer this because it's a stimulating conversation. I know the subject will change. I do think Moonshot, it's still very early, but I think Moonshot is going to play a massive role in how DeFi projects and meme coins onboard people. They haven't figured it out yet, but they will because you just cut out the need for a centralized exchange for peer-to-peer marketing. I think another thing is, why has the price of Bitcoin gone back down to pre-ETF? The cabal wasn't finished buying. Like the exit, did no one tell them, oh, I'm sorry, the bear market's here? Oh, I'm sorry, did no one tell them that they're supposed to go get their exit liquidity? Bro, we're gonna see the largest fucking marketing campaigns from some of the richest, most savage companies in the world hunting for exit liquidity in this cycle. Except it'll be legal, and they'll have commercials, and they'll have fucking banners, and they'll have stadiums. They're gonna do the whole thing like they always do, except this time, bro, their bags are fucking packed to rake in money. And I also think VC funds have launched meme coins amongst us, and
For
they have
sure.
loads of fucking money. I'm not talking about some one from Dubai. I'm talking about no one actually knows, and they're already here, and they're testing because they see the amount of money they can extract from people in meme coins who actually are willing to go into the volatility of meme coins, and they see that as a market to extract from, and they're already launching their VC funded meme coins. They're just in the experimental phase this cycle, and next cycle, bro, they're bringing whole animation studios, they're bringing whole marketing teams to launch blue chips.
I got a question for you, Jules. What do you think when we're at the peak bull run? How many coins are going to be in the top 100 that are meme coins at peak bull run?
That I can't honestly say. I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
said
wouldn't even
35. I said 35 out of
I
the top
say
100.
5 out of the top 10 will be meme coins.
What about top 100? How many do you think will be in the top 100?
Same average.
So 50%?
Yeah.
See, I
That's a
have a
lot.
different thesis to how this whole thing is going to play out, and it's not a popular one. I think we're going to have a complete inversion of what happened in last cycle. I think I've noticed how the ecosystem, this cryptocurrency ecosystem rotates. It's like my kid wants to have ice cream, every single day. I give my kid ice cream every single day, but they're lactose intolerant, and then they find themselves in the hospital. Okay, you probably shouldn't have ice cream, right? Hypothetical situation. That's kind of how this space operates. Meme coins, meme coins, meme coins. Pump fund, pump fund, pump fund's trash. Okay, pre-sales, pre-sales, pre-sales. This is what I think is going to happen. At the tail end, everyone's going to go gamble on protocols because they believe the bull run's going to go for an extra year long, because all the tech companies are going to start getting in. The Sonys are going to launch their blockchains. The Apple is going to start accepting cryptocurrency payments. All that shit, right? At the end. And so I think it'll be an inversion of last cycle. It'll be meme coins, meme coins, meme coins. And then in the last little bit, like utilities are going to go like crazy. Like crazy. Not talking meme coin numbers, but there's just going to be this heat all over it, and people will delusionally believe the Giga Bull Run is here and we're going for another year. That will be it this cycle, because Visa just announced this and MasterCard just announced this, except those people are getting prepped for next cycle. This was the cycle that the cabal gets to get into. Next cycle is the cycle that the payment processors and the tech companies get into. The know your fucking role. The banks and the cabals, they get in this cycle. They get to hold it all. The next cycle, the tech companies and the payment processors get in. And so that'll happen at the end. It'll bring people to a delusion that it's like, oh my gosh, we're going to the end of 2026, and that'll be it. And so I think it's going to be an inversion, but it's not a popular scenario. I get it.
Either way, bro, been fucking coins to 100 billion. Let's go. Let's get this fucking money.
Yeah, well, I think that like what my personal opinion, Jules, is I think we'll probably meet somewhere in between. Like yours is like the ultra bull case. I'm trying to just have like a measured approach to it, but I love it when people are
No,
getting bullish
it's
because
really not. What was the all-time high of Doge last cycle?
I don't know.
88.8 billion. You're telling me we're going to go back to those same numbers again?
Yeah, but remember, Doge and Sheep are still here, bro. You know what I
I
mean? Like
know.
those are still coins that are still here. So what are they going to do?
There were meme coins in last cycle, and there were
So you're
protocols in last cycle. They didn't pop off the same way in the following cycle.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. I'm just saying that I think there's like to say that we're going to hit. I don't think. I think for us to expect, the total market cap of crypto to what's it at right now? 3 trillion or under 3 trillion? What's it at,
Like 2 point
Pinky?
something. I don't know, like 2 point something.
Okay. So to expect the total market cap of crypto to like what is that, 5x,
Six and a
6x,
half X.
6x? Okay, so you're saying that Bitcoin, let's say Bitcoin does a 5x from here. I guess you could say it goes like 300k, somewhere around 300k. You're going to want a 300k Bitcoin, obviously. If we're going to go to that high of a total market cap of crypto, you're probably going to have a ETH would probably be somewhere around 12 to 15k at that kind of market cap, like this cycle, right? And then on top of that, we're going to need. I mean, I'm sure BNB would probably be somewhere around 2,500 a coin.
But bro, you're using
Eh,
old rules when meme coins have been running in the chop and
Yeah,
everything like that. It is different. You have to agree.
mm,
I think
yeah, but
Bitcoin
I'm
goes to
not going
like
to invalidate the
200K.
majors. Like you can't
I
invalidate the
think
majors because if the majors don't run, none of those meme coins will run. You need
Boys, boys,
Bitcoin.
boys. Real quick, I want to let Ragsy go. Ragsy, I
You,
think
you need Bitcoin to run.
I
she had
actually
her hand up.
love hearing those two debate. You guys should do it like every space. It's so great. Well, it's like the different perspectives too. So, Jules, I love how bullish you are. But okay, so here's what I think. We're definitely in a meme coin bubble. So Jules' point doesn't seem so crazy because a lot of the liquidity that went into layer ones last bull run, like a lot of the layer ones are dead. Like nobody wants to invest in fucking Polkadot. Like let's get real. Sorry to anybody who has Polkadot. Like
God damn it.
you know what I mean? And Cardano's a fucking community takeover now. Like you know what I mean? So a lot of the liquidity is gonna go in the meme coins. But that being said, there weren't dominant meme coins last cycle. Like Shiba, basically like those Shiba Floki dominated the entire market, right? Yeah, there was shit deployed on BNB, but not all of them got to like 30 billion or whatever. Even very few got to a billion. So the liquidity is gonna be spread out. So for one to suck up the 100 bill market cap, I would honestly say like the coin that has the best chance of doing that is if it's going to do that is Doge, because it's accessible. You have to remember like the accessibility plays a huge role in determining if the meme coin's going to giga send past 50 bill. Okay? So Shiba and Doge both got listed on Coinbase, and even mainstream apps like Robinhood. That's what really did it. That's what really did it for Doge and Shiba, right? So for the normies coming in, thanks for the claps. So for the normies coming in, oh, we're doing this meme coin shit. They're gonna go on Robinhood. They're gonna buy Shiba and Doge because they don't know what's going on. So I think like those are still gonna be a narrative just because meme coins are a narrative. Doge, if something's gonna go to 100 bill, I think it's
So basically, growth by default.
yeah by because it's excel. Oh, meme coin, yeah, and then everyone's gonna want to buy, right? But
Yeah.
I do. That being said, I do think there will be a few new dark horses. That's what I call them,
BUB.
that are gonna be on the same playing field as that Doge Shiba. They're gonna have the Doge and Shiba effect, and they're gonna pass everybody. Now, what those coins are, we don't know, right? We
BUB.
all know the ones I'm bullish on, right? But so I think there's room. I know you guys are dying to comment. Sorry, I'll wrap it up. So like, I think there's room for a couple more to be in that like big league where it's gonna go past like tens of billions, but everything else it's only going to reach a certain point, I think, because they'll still send, but they're not going to giga send. Only a select few are going to giga send. So there'll be a ceiling for everything else. So I've been spending my time which ones are going to giga send, which ones are going to get the listings, which one are going to have mass appeal. That's how I'm personally like hedging my bets, but that's just my opinion.
But you kind of share the same sentiment as me. It's going to kind of spread outward, and a few will go upward, but it'll be more spread outward as far as like the liquidity for the meme coins.
Yeah, that's right. For the majority, like there will be a few that do giga send. I think other than Shiba and Doge, there will be a few that go to tens of billions. There's no doubt in my mind about it, because whoever brings in the most volume, those are gonna get the better listings. They're gonna get the eyeballs maybe from even mainstream apps like Robinhood and shit, right? But then everything else, the liquidity, it's going to be a fight because there's so many meme coins being deployed and there's so many things being deployed every day. There's just a lot more competition this cycle than there was last cycle, because really you were only dealing with ETH and BNB. Now you're dealing with ETH, Solana, BNB. Tron is like, oh no, we're fucking doing this shit too. You know what I mean? So
You guys remember
like,
Tron? You guys remember Tron?
I
yeah,
just I just want to point out the fact that in the depths of this fucking bear market, a meme coin went to what, 5 billion, 8 billion, 9 billion,
8 billion, I think.
and y'all think that by the time we get to the blow off tops that there will be some that go to 10, maybe one or two. This is like explaining to somebody what's a meme coin right now that's at 300 mil. Was Mog at 300 mil the other day?
It's around there right now.
Mog and Popcat.
And Popcat. This is like me coming to you right now and saying, hey, boys, I just want you to know Mog is going to go to $88 billion, $90 billion. You'd laugh at me. You'd be like, fucking ridiculous, right? What you need to do is you need to actually just move meme coins off the fucking table, right? Because it's like meme coins and protocols and NFTs and all that. What you need to look at is everything across the board. And you need to go back multiple cycles. And I challenge you to do this. You can use CoinMarketCap's website to do it and look at the percentage of increase that these total market caps shot up to all-time high, like last day of the bull run, last day that Bitcoin hits, all-time high or whatever, and look at the increases and ask yourself, do you think that the majority of the liquidity has come into the market 140 days post halving right now? Because that's where we're at. And if you do, and you actually do the math on all of it and go back 3 cycles, and you look at the increase across the board for fuck meme coins, utilities, this, that, and another. Just look at all of them, because this is how you do projections. You have to study the whole fucking market, and you're making a projection, so you can't guarantee it. So you have to look for patterns. You have to look at percentage increases and shit like that. And I'm telling you, you're not bullish enough on meme coins. And before everyone laughs at me, 5 months ago, I was only working with VC funded projects or working with projects that were going for VC funded for like utilities and shit. And I was like, I'm not getting into meme coins this cycle. And when I started
brother.
researching
But
it and looking at it, I was
brother, but if you think about like 2017, 2018, right? And you were sharing the market caps a minute ago, how much like overall the market cap of crypto got to and at the top in January of 2018 or whatever, and how many coins were in the market just in 2017? There were maybe like a couple thousand coins, right? A couple thousand coins. So you think about how much liquidity it took to get the total market cap to that across a couple thousand coins. Now you're saying you need X amount of liquidity to get millions, if not tens of millions of coins, like that have sucked up distributed liquidity. Like, I don't know, man. I'm with you. I love the ultra bullishness, but I also think I'm kind of
No,
with Rags.
when's the last? Can someone answer to me this one question and then I'll shut up? But I do love these debates. What was the last cycle where we had like ETFs and nation states adopting Bitcoin? Was it 2017 or was it? Oh, that's right.
Well,
This cycle. The point I'm
I
trying
mean,
to
in the
make.
last cycle, we also printed like $8 trillion and just injected it all up in the economy. You know what I mean? Where's the liquidity coming from this time?
Do you think that we're better financially than we were in 2017 than we are now?
No, I think we're far worse.
Right. So are we gonna have to print more money, or are we gonna have to print less money?
That's the question here right now.
I
yeah,
say we're probably gonna print more money because we're totally fucked, and the U.S. dollar is getting fucked by BRICS and a few other things. So I'm kind of looking at like all these different things, and obviously I'm not gonna nail it. I'm not professing that I'm gonna nail it. I'm just saying when you start looking at all the when's the last time Russia legalized Bitcoin mining and Brazil said, "Hey, we're going to go." Like there's just too many things that are happening all across the world for me to think that maybe one or two meme coins will go to 100 billion, maybe
I,
a few will go to 10. Because
I
like
think what you're saying is going to happen like 5 years from now. Like, I agree with everything you're saying. I just think it's going to happen like 5 years from now.
I think what he's saying is possible, like I said, for a select few. Like it's not impossible, like it's possible. Is it likely? I don't know. We got to see how much they're going to cut these uh we got to see how much they're going to cut these interest rates by. That's what we got to see. But I'm looking here. I'm a numbers person, okay? So like the entire market cap of crypto is 2 trillion around. Like we'll round down even. It's 2 trillion, right? So it also depends like what you think the market cap of crypto is gonna be this cycle. I think it's gonna double and I doubt it's gonna be more than that. So if you think it's gonna be more than that, we're gonna disagree on numbers and shit. I think it's gonna double. So you can't have in my mind you can't
you
have
think 4
10
trillion.
meme coin for okay, so like yeah, it's gonna double. So in my mind you can't have 10 meme coins hit 100 billion because that would be a trillion, right? That's 25% of the entire market. I don't think it's I'm putting these things into perspective with my numbers. I don't think it's reflective, but could one or two or maybe three, yeah, I think it fits in there. I think that the select few are going to suck up the overall majority of liquidity and all the other shit. Yeah, it can pump, but it's going to there's going to be a huge gap. There's going to be a huge meme coin gap. So that's why I don't think what Jules is saying is crazy, but I think it's going to be, if that happens, it's going to be just a few things because I'm looking at the overall market cap of the market. Now, if you think bitch, you're crazy, we're going to triple. If you think it's going to be 6 trillion, then I can see why we different in opinion, right? Like I have my own numbers for where I think Bitcoin's going to go to. I have my own, numbers and thesis, right? So if we disagree on the market cap, overall market cap of crypto, well then, yeah, our meme coin numbers are going to be very, very, very different. But yeah, it's all going to depend on how much they cut the interest rates. People have to remember the ETF super bullish. Definitely a gift. These ETFs are definitely a gift, but they have to remember the reason why the markets went so fucking nuts last cycle is because of the pandemic. They had to cut the interest rates to zero. I don't think we're getting a cut to zero, guys. So it's kind of like weighing the scales. Okay, the interest rates, they're not going to be slashed to zero, but we have some ETFs. We have that hedge fund money in it. So I think we should take into account that Jules pointed that out, right? Because I went back and I did the numbers earlier this year, how much that Bitcoin ETF weighed on the market, and it can throw off the markets by 40%. That's huge. That's a huge chunk of change. That's how much the charts got thrown off from that Bitcoin ETF. So I don't think it's crazy for a couple meme coins to get there. I just don't think a lot of them will.
Do you guys still like think we're going to continue to have a 4 year cycle? Because I kind of think that the ETFs would create kind of such a consistent inflow of capital once they really start to get going. Like we might, you know, I don't know if it's going to be this cycle or not, but we might start to drift out of this 4 year cycle. I mean, like if you look at when the gold ETF was approved, gold just ripped for like 10 years straight. So
I think that's going to
That's
be the
true.
narrative at the end of Euphoria that all these institutions are going to dump on. And I will agree with you, Ragsy. There's no way my numbers match up if we go to 4 trillion. But 4 trillion is only like an extra 500 billion from all-time high of last cycle. And I just don't, I think, and I mean this in respect, I think that's so short-sighted and giga bearish when you take on all the different things that have been happening globally surrounding crypto. We've got an election cycle. We've got a presidential candidate saying Bitcoin to the moon. So we do have some historical things that have never happened before, whether it's ETFs or it's that, or it's, like Ripple finally fucking getting that monkey off of our back. Like there's so many things that have happened that are lining up that if you are bullish, you're like, holy shit, dude. So I personally think the numbers I'm giving are if we go 8 to 10 trill. That's
Oh
like
yeah,
I think
that you're right. You're
10
right. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Then you're correct.
10 to 15 trill is possible. And before everyone laughs at me, in the bear market there was so much alpha that was getting dropped, but nobody was paying attention because it was a bear market. Like, do you remember when Chase Bank made the announcement that they were filing for a Web3? This was before ETFs. They were filing a patent for a Web3 wallet. That was our first sign ETFs were coming, like way before anything else, right? So there there was a research paper I remember because I had to do research for a brand before, put out trying to figure out what's the total market cap going to be. Now this was a VC funded research. It was over 150 pages, and they believed that the all-time high of crypto, the reason they wanted to start getting into crypto was because the all-time high of the total market cap by the end of this cycle would be 20 trillion. So I'm dialing it back from
That's
that.
wild. That would be insane, bro.
It
We
would
would
be insane.
everything would
But
gigasend.
every single cycle with less things that have happened in this cycle, if you talk to people in a sloshy time like we're at right now and you tried to travel back in time and tell people, they'd be like, you're nuts. You're fucking nuts. There's
Okay, so I
Bro,
got a good
just today, Russia started settling trade in crypto.
I
They do
know.
a
crazy.
they do $1 trillion a year in global trade. They just started settling trade in crypto today.
Okay, so Jules, here's one kind of like pushback to like that thesis, right? Like that, we're the market cap of crypto. So if you look at where Bitcoin went, the amount of X's it did from from 2017. Let's talk about the main cycles that really crypto really took off. Let's not talk about anything before 2017. Bitcoin did how many X's? I think it started out at the beginning of that cycle at what? What was it average back in 2017? It was under a
Like,
thousand.
yeah, under 1,000.
Yeah, so it was under a thousand, and then it went up to 20K, which was over. I think it did over 20x, right, from bottom to top. Now, if you look at what it did in the next cycle, what did it do?
It did like a 20x peak to peak.
So it did a 20x peak to peak.
Yeah,
But I
I
did.
said
But
roughly
wait.
1,000.
Bitcoin was way less than that in 2017. Actually,
No, but I'm
Bitcoin.
talking about previous all-time high.
Yeah. Previous all-time high of Bitcoin before the 2017 cycle was what?
Correct. Like somewhere around 1,000.
No, it was less than that, bro. Was it? I'm trying to
No, it's
remember.
like somewhere close to 1,000.
Okay, so it did a 20x.
Yeah.
So
It was 800.
it was 800. Okay, so 800. So what is that? How many x's is that?
Depending on the exchange.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's look at what it did in the next cycle, right? Like the 2021
It did a 3x.
cycle.
I mean,
What did it
basically,
do?
did a little more, like a 3.5.
3.5x from the previous all-time high, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what does that tell
Yeah.
you? That tells you that you're having diminishing returns because of the massive, like how expensive it is, right? It's the highest performing asset class in the history of the world. So now we're looking at Bitcoin at what was it? Its all-time high was 60. I don't know what 67.
69, bro.
60,
69, bro.
69, right? So
Yes.
what are we gonna say? How many X's is Bitcoin gonna do this cycle?
Here's
Yes.
why that's a.
Your
Here's
time.
why that is. I mean, you can crunch the numbers, but here's why you can't get an accurate number with that. I could spend
No,
the next
I'm asking for the bull case.
bull case.
420K.
Mm,
420K.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be me and Jules are gonna be disagreeing on this price, but I agree. I think it's gonna be around 120, most bullish case
Yeah,
150.
Exactly what I was gonna say. 120K.
I'm. This is what I think. I think Bitcoin on the high end is gonna go to 180. I think more likely it'll probably go to 140, 150. Just because who the fuck is buying Bitcoin at 420K?
Central
Dude,
You know
I
what I
banks.
mean?
swear to God,
let's just
I
be
would
honest with
just
that,
for the lore.
right? You know what I'm
Central
saying?
banks. Central banks.
Yeah, central banks probably, right? But I'm saying retail is what spawns most of the bull runs, right? Like if we're just counting on the institutions to spawn the whole bull run, then it should have already happened because the ETFs here, they have inflows and outflows every single day. And we're not sending like we thought we would yet, right?
Yeah, they didn't cut the rates yet. Everyone's waiting for them to cut the. They might cut them in September, but it's looking like they're not going to cut them till
they
after
Okay.
don't.
the election.
They don't have all the supply they want. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I don't think so either. I think they want more. But what I'm saying is like if you look at Bitcoin, right? Like it's at a stage already where I think like there's a diminishing return effect on it, right? Like it's already at a fucking pretty high market cap. I mean, like one Bitcoin is what, almost 60 grand right now. If it goes to 120, bro, can you imagine what the market cap's gonna be? What are you laughing at? Average.
That Bitcoin is 70,000. It's fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
So anyways, that's what I'm saying is like we've had these massive gains on Bitcoin from the two previous earlier cycles. And now there's all these institutions and all these ETFs and all this, I guess, way more money coming into it. Like, but then there's also the bull case where it's like the amount of money that's in equities. What if like 10% of that comes over to crypto, bro? Like
That's
fucking
40
send
trillion.
Bitcoin to $1 million a coin.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I
Just
mean?
40
one
Like,
percent.
40 trillion.
Just 1% is actually
you know what
because
I'm saying? Like it's
I've
crazy.
talked
Like there's so many different scenarios, right? Like
I've
I
talked
don't
to the
know.
guys at a pretty prominent, well-known globally VC fund. He's been there like 20 years. The allocation's 1% to cryptocurrency right now. That's what all of them are telling their clients, and this was even pre-ETF. It's 1%. So you could take that same 1% um, rule and use that on that asset class. Even 1% still a lot.
All right, what's the market cap of all like equities average?
40
Of
trillion.
of of
40 trillion?
everything? Of
Yeah.
just equities, or you're saying like of derivatives and all that shit?
Yeah, just like I don't know. Just give me something.
Wow.
Like
Yeah, like 40 trillion for like the whole stock market.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. So like this is the ultra bull case, right? Like what if like that turns into like 10%? You know, like like
I don't think it would
what's going to happen to
turn into
crypto then?
10, but the news might be that it turns into 10. I think that what's really
Yeah.
going to catch people out is I think we're going to have a giga bull run. That I think this bull run is going to last all of next year, and this depends
Love it.
too if Trump gets in. That does play a little bit of a role. The banks and the institutions, I do agree with Reg. They don't really care who gets elected, but Trump getting in will. It is a speculative market, and that will send things a little bit higher, even if it's just a smidge. I think the bull run's going to last all of.
There's one thing. There's one thing you guys are kind of like not discussing, that we have the first time ever possible crypto president, crypto vice president. The Elon, he is going to be accepting Doge payments again, so they do have use for crypto, which they really didn't in the past. Like in the past, it was kind of a debate, but they actually have use for crypto and they support it. So I think over the next 2 3 years, maybe less, we're going to see something. I wouldn't be surprised to see them using Bitcoin to completely bring it into somewhere and do what they've done in other countries where they've taken, currency resets and used Bitcoin because gold hasn't worked too well. Current situation is not working. They can't keep writing money. So you may see something that's completely different, unique. And when is the last time we've all been right about anything? Think about it.
It's true. We're all just speculating on what's going to happen here. Like we all don't know.
Yeah, like no, like I mean, if I told you guys that Pepe was going to be one of the top coins, or and then a token named Fwag is gonna and then is going to do great, and then this morning I'm going to call Fwag. I mean, just this none of this stuff makes sense if you get what I'm saying. Or Crying Cat or Little Bub are going to be we're going to be trading all of our NFTs and not even talking about Bored Ape Yacht Club and talking about frogs and dogs and cats. So I think you need to be looking at things that we don't know what they are. Like look at the unexpected. That's where I think we need to be.
Well,
I
Yep.
agree with
if
that.
I
I agree
may,
that
I actually
crypto's
have a
super.
question, something to that, and I apologize for interrupting, but I think this could expound on that. Imagine just real quick with me, I buy a car, and to help better keep track of this car, I mint like the data plate into an NFT, and on that NFT, any part I buy for that car, I can now add that and mint that to the metadata on there. In places like CarMax or Auto Trader can sit there and see that metadata in like an auto marketplace, that they can validate all the data that's on that vehicle instead of just having to do a visual inspection. They know what's on there. Um, like technologies like that could be here, and I know we're talking about 2025, but I could see them before 2030, possibly 2026, 2027. So I don't know about the bull market ending in, not ending, but slowing down in 2025, because, you're right about getting like the bigger people are still trying to accumulate, and big financial markets are still trying to accumulate and kind of get their hands in it, and then the payment systems. But once you have payment systems, like that opens the door for anything that can be tracked with immutable ledger type data.
We did not want to see $100,000 Bitcoin the day that Trump got up and said, Bitcoin to the moon. I'm telling you, we're going to look back on this moment, and I'm either going to be right or wrong, but I think I'm going to be right on this. And we're going to thank Jesus, sweet baby Jesus, as they said in Talladega Nights, for all the chop we've been through. They're not finished accumulating. They want
Dude,
to.
I don't want the bull run to start. I'm enjoying like fucking it where it's at because when the bull run starts and everything starts sending, that means that you're kind of late. You know what I'm saying? Like you want like I like. I mean, just me as a trader,
I wholeheartedly agree with Coco every time he
like
says that.
I want to keep accumulating.
This is what Ragsy said last night, and you're hearing both Ragsy and Coco. I think they have more time in the game than I hate to compare, but anybody on stage.
Fitty was here when
Ragsy,
Bitcoin was created. Don't
yeah,
forget that.
okay, so 50, yeah, the influencer of the year, three back to back to back Chicago Bulls, 90, 93 esque. But here, if I could land my plane real quick, is Ragsy last night said the exact same thing as Coco just said in so many words, that all this chop has given everyone ample time to do your homework and get settled into your conviction plays.
I
Hundred
mean,
percent.
it makes sense what they're saying because if you remember the real bull of the NFT market, it gave people FOMO, bad FOMO, where you bought in at the top every time. And so now you learn from that. Like you learn from that, and that's kind of what we're saying here is we're having like little tiny mini bulls or beginnings, and then we're having a couple of bad days. But this is a good time to learn and position yourself correctly. Like this is the one thing that people do not ever do. Position themselves to win in a bull market. They think just because a bull market come, they're just going to make money. Like that just doesn't happen. If you're not positioned to make money in the bull market, you will not make money in the bull market.
Exactly. You gotta have your assets that you
I
like. Like
mean,
I'll be honest. Like me personally, I've said this probably like 5 times on these spaces. Is like my strategy has changed from what it was. My strategy has changed to like go heavy into plays that I like have a lot of like that I know have strong communities that I know are like either possible conviction plays or like high conviction plays, right? Like I'm not focusing on shit that I don't really have that much data on, right? I don't really care about the market cap. I mean, obviously I'm playing a little bit higher, but like for instance, let me take Cryan for example. I'm trying to accumulate 1%. Whenever it dips, I try to grab it because I see how good the community is behind it. The market cap isn't really what I'm worried about. I'm worried about where it can go, right? Like we're looking for mispriced assets, right? So I'm looking for assets that the price of them now is not what the price is going to be when later on, right? So for instance, I don't care that something's 80 million, 40 million like Bub or 100 million like Mumu, right? Because I think like it's still mispriced and I think they're going to go much higher cuz I have more data on it, right? But what I'm not doing is I'm not spending as much of my time that I was as before on just like every single day shitters. Like I'm not putting there was a time where I was like focusing most of my effort into like like remember when everyone was looking at
time's
live pairs,
finished.
right?
That
Yeah,
time's
yeah,
finished.
yeah. Like now is the time to look at like those coins that you're gonna hold and like just ride into the bull run, right? Because if another 2 months stop goes by and you're still fucking around with those coins that are dying every week, you're gonna miss so many plays that do way more X's that make you way more money. So like you got to pack your bags now. Like this is your chance. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's gonna take. I say this all the time, so I'm skipping record on it. You're gonna need 3 to 4 years to get back to this level of clarity in the market, where we no longer think it's all gonna go to zero, and we're not really sure, and we don't know what stable coins to go into because they keep fucking depegging, and like we're not there anymore. But the market hasn't full sent yet. You're gonna have to take 3 to 4 years to get back to this level of clarity. Like
It's the best time.
it's perfect, bro. This was the time that
Yeah,
I gritted my teeth in the bear market and was like, one day I'll get to that place where like everybody got to get in early. And now that I'm here, I'm like, oh, okay, like everybody's chasing shiny objects, but like the best plays are already here. The in
bro.
my
You
in
know
my
what's funny? You know what's funny? I was on Leap Spaces about 6 months ago, and he brought it up when I was on his space recently. And he told the story how I was literally in a space, and I told everyone 6 months ago, I said, look, everyone that wants to get into crypto, grab your credit cards, max them all out, and go put it on Bitcoin. And this is when Bitcoin was at 15K. And everyone thought I was fucking crazy. And I literally told everyone in a space with like 500 people to max out their credit cards and go buy Bitcoin with it at 15K. And they're like, oh, I don't know if
Are you
you should do that.
fucking serious?
Yeah. And then Leap brought it up like a couple weeks ago. He's like, bro, my favorite Coco story is when he came on my space and told everyone in the space to max out their credit cards, take all the money that they have, and throw it into Bitcoin at 15K.
But
And
every
he's like,
single
and you were
person
right,
that listened to you would be a millionaire by now.
bro. Like literally, that was the best play you could have done with your money 6 months ago or whatever. I forget how long it was
You would have
ago. But
owned
yeah, like is
MasterCard by
take
now.
everything you fucking have, who gives a fuck what it was, and throw it into crypto. And it was the best fucking play you could have made. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally told a space of 500 people to do that, and everyone thought I sounded crazy because they're like, "Well, no," because it was in a really like kind of dark part of the market, right? But it was actually the best fucking thing you could have done with your money. Now you got to look at that at what 4x higher than what it was, and it's still probably a good buy. and it's probably still a good idea to max out your credit cards and buy Bitcoin. But
Let's
it was an even better idea back then.
go. That's exactly
Or
what I
BUB. You
wanted
can
you
max
to
them out and buy
say,
BUB too.
baby.
You got Moonshot.
Hey, can I go back to the macro
That sounds
conversation?
like
Yo, yo, yo,
like
wait. Before we go on, I want it to be known that history has been made, and Coco said that on my stage at 10:45 p.m. Okay? What day is it today? I don't even know what fucking day it is.
September
The
2nd.
2nd. He's in Burning Man right now, and he just made the call of the century, guys. But listen, as of no, in about 13 minutes here, this space will have been going for 13 hours. That's pretty trippy, man. That's actually really trippy.
That's
I
crazy.
love you all. This is why I love the community, and this is why I love crypto. It's because of this passion. So retweet the room, and yeah, man, max out your fucking credit cards.
So
Send this
Bro,
shit,
it's
man.
Hey,
buckle up,
probably the
buckle
I
up.
best thing
Hold
you
on,
could
hold
do.
on, hold on. Buckle up, buckle up. All right, real quick. Retweet the fucking room because you should be paying to listen to this conversation. Not because
You
I'm
know, when
here,
people say
but because
that, it's
the other
crazy
people
that
that are
people
here.
don't do it.
Retweet the room because you're learning some fucking alpha right here. Not because I'm here. We got Fitty, 3-time MVP, KOL, Allo Bro of the last 3 years. We got Ragsy, TikTok superstar with dreads. We got Pinky. We got Average. He probably worked for a VC fund and he's just a Fed. And then we got Coco here.
100%.
And then we got Coco here. Retweet the fucking room. Sorry, Coco.
When I speak, you guys get a discount.
Exactly.
Dude, I will say, out of all the spaces I've been in, like this bull run, this was one of the most important spaces to listen to. I'm sorry if you missed it because I don't think this is being recorded. Maybe it is, but everything we just talked about was really valuable fucking information. But the good news is we're going to keep talking about it. I didn't want to cut off Molon Labs, but I did want to point out something that you guys were talking about before in regards to the stock market. Yeah, and why Jules is so bullish, and you gave that like really high market cap. So we did. So now your numbers to me, Jules, by the way, make sense because we disagree on what the market cap. I think it's
Yeah.
going to be about double, not necessarily 4 trillion, but maybe a little more. But we disagree on that, right? So we're going to have different numbers. But here's why I'm so conservative with my numbers, because the stock market already does not like that crypto is sucking up this volume with that Bitcoin ETF. And we know this because like there is even you can kind of see stuff passively, right? So there is even news articles I was reading earlier this year that the stock market for the first time ever is considering trading being open 24 hours. Why are they making that a topic magically in 2024? It's because they it's because they see all that's very plausible, right? To investors, they want to trade 24 hours. That's the benefit crypto has over stock market. So they're talking about that. In my opinion, like, the stock market's kind of a threat to that high market cap of crypto because and that's why you see the SEC still at it sending all the Wells notices everywhere because they do not want this crypto pie to get so big that retail's like fuck it, we're not going to buy stocks, we're just going to buy it all in crypto, and it is going in that direction very very fast. Like after people saw how much money BlackRock brought in billions when they launched that ETF, and they don't want to lose, these top companies, they don't want to lose like market share from investors. So that's one thing we have to take into consideration. So that's why I don't not, again, I'm not saying like your market cap prediction isn't possible. It is. Jules's market cap prediction is possible, but I think it's unlikely this cycle because of that.
What do you guys think happens when that dude with 1 million Bitcoins moves one of them?
That's a good question. Have y'all read about Bitcoin
That's so
Citadel?
true.
Have y'all read about Bitcoin citadels? Like the people who own Bitcoin are going to live in these like golden towers defended by millions of people because they're
Bro,
like the visionaries. Have y'all read about the citadels?
Oh gosh.
bro, that's actually such a good point Pinky just said. Is everyone forgets there's a guy with 1 million Bitcoin
There's some guy that everyone
sitting
no
in
one
a
talks
wall.
about. Nobody talks about that imaginary
Nobody.
dude with 1 million Bitcoin, huh?
When is the last time? When is the last time one of those moved?
That's what I'm saying. Like if that, then that is a very there's that guy ain't dead. That dude, there's some dude with 1 million Bitcoin chilling somewhere.
Hey, can I pull it back to what y'all were talking about? Macro. I've been a Ron Paul audit the Federal Reserve guy for like more than 15 years. So it's funny that now how a Bitcoin maxi I am, and then hear what y'all are talking about Bitcoin price predictions. The global, so gross domestic product of the United States is $28 trillion a year. And when you look at the global gross GGP, it's 109 trillion a year. And this is the economy every year. Uh, it's also a pretty important number, $12.3 trillion of foreign central banks holding on to US dollars. And remember, the United States is facing a sovereign debt crisis, and everybody is going to be considering gold, commodities, maybe the BRICS. And then you've got $400 trillion of assets in the world. And these are homes, these are all sorts of things. You've also got smaller markets like commodities, which would be cocoa, petroleum, nat gas, electricity. So when you stack all those up, you've got a $400 trillion equity market that most likely is going to transition its dollar like denominational in dollars, euros. It's going to be tokenized. And this is the real world assets narrative that you're talking about. But that's 400 trillion and call it 0.5%. So 2 trillion. Then you've got the global gross production, which is $109 trillion a year. And then go to the equities markets, which are 40 trillion in the US. That's all I know about right now. And then, China's 10 trillion, the EU's 15, and then there's another 30 through developing markets. Developing markets are the most affected by currency manipulation by both the big players, the G7, mostly the United States, but also China. And so when you look at all of the shit that's going to be tokenized and moved to the blockchain, people holding on to US foreign reserve dollars, that the United States is not only like it sucks to be in the United States and dealing with inflation, but what sucks even more are foreign central banks that hold US dollars on their balance sheet as some sort of an anchor or a rock, just like they do gold. And we're exporting the fuck out of inflation to these foreign central banks. So you've got the real world asset play. You've got the dollar exporting inflation and the debasement of the dollar, a possible what do you call it, sovereign debt crisis. And then you've got gold has a $14 trillion asset class, and Bitcoin is increasingly seen as a less risk asset, and this is a narrative that'll continue, and more as a mature risk asset or a fucking equity or a commodity. The CFTC looks like they're probably going to win over the SEC calling Bitcoin a commodity. I mean, it is a scarce commodity. And so when you start pricing Bitcoin, everything that's happened in Bitcoin right now has 69,000 3 years ago. Happened because of retail, visionaries, high net worth motherfuckers that understood Bitcoin because those that do buy it. And now we've just had Wall Street. We've got a really contracted global economic uh, environment. We're cutting rates. There's going to be a lot of inflation. And so if we're going to see a double top or maybe a new all-time high of inflation. And so if people were running away from Bitcoin, running away from the dollar because of inflation before, just watch what gets hyperinflation that happens now. People are going to go into trophy assets and equities. People who own homes are going to sit on it. You don't want to sell it. And the more they cut, the greater the problem of the dollar's strength. And so I do see a 120, maybe 150 this cycle, but I could also see a $400,000 Bitcoin in the next 4 years because all these people are having this conversation in plain day, whereas 5, 10 years ago, it was kind of something that you didn't want to sound like an idiot because the United States has got their shit together. Um, yeah.
All I hear is so much fucking higher, bro. That's what I hear.
Dude,
Pinky all day.
400K, yeah, he said in the next 4 years, not this cycle. But I'm all for, guys, this is a smart group. At the top of the cycle, if we want to talk about how Bitcoin's going to 400K so I can
Listen,
take my cash out, I'm cool with that.
total
420, Ragzy.
total
420.
market
Don't
cap,
forget the 20.
total market cap Pico top of the last cycle compared to the Pico top of the previous cycle was 4x.
Yeah, but it gets smaller each bull run.
Yeah,
If
there's
you,
diminishing returns.
$10
That's
million
it's
dollar
that's what I
Bitcoin. $10
disagree
million dollar
with
Hold
y'all
Bitcoin.
on,
about.
hold
I
on.
disagree with the thesis of diminishing marginal returns on the Bitcoin asset class because everything I saw go to 69 wasn't Wall Street inflows. And you have a compounding problem of an inflated US dollar, them kicking the can down the road,
Thank
printing, and
Yeah.
so people are going to increasingly go to the Bitcoin asset class. And so maybe this time it's maybe it's another 3 or 4x.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
So
know my
what I'm
case.
saying is,
I know my case.
with
Let me just say
whenever,
this real quick. I know my
well,
case is super bullish to some, but there are historical things that have never been done before, and it just blows my mind. We've had what 5% adoption rate into crypto, and we're like, yeah, but I don't think this time total like you got Sony doing a blockchain, you got Russia doing mining, you got Hong Kong doing ETFs, like, but this time I think it's going to be a little bit less. That's my argument. That's my argument on it is like the math is not mathing here. I'm not saying I have the math down 100%. I'm just saying this market is driven by speculation, and speculatively, we may be in a shitty market right now, but the biggest players and nations in the world are moving to try and get their hands on Bitcoin.
$10 million Bitcoin.
they already have it though. They already have
Well,
it.
also,
Like that's
don't
my
forget
whole
about
thing.
one thing. How
Like
many?
who's getting their hands on it? They already have it. Like I think
What?
well that we can agree to disagree. I think institutions, big money, they've been in crypto. They just haven't
I
uh,
think,
advertised it because they want these
But
prices.
not foreign
That's why they
central
keep
banks,
pumping.
Ragsy. Not foreign central banks and not big pensions that manage trillions of dollars. I think the foreign central banks thing is like when Trump started talking about during the Nashville conference, I was like, you motherfuckers, don't show your hand, you know?
Yep. They okay, here's what I think with the banks. A lot of them, yeah, they'll get into Bitcoin and shit, but a lot of these dudes, they're gonna just start their own. They're gonna be like, oh, let's just do our own fucking blockchain and shit.
Yes.
Like, that's a thing too. Like you already see like companies doing that, like Sony, they're like, ah, fuck buying this shit. We're gonna make our own. Like
No,
I
no,
think
no,
Yeah,
no,
but
Ragsy. Where are they building?
but
Where are they building their chain on, Ragsy? Do you know?
let me
Polygon.
look at it. By the way, I don't know my just so no one's offended, my request shit is fucked up, so I can't add people. But let me look up the
Ragsy,
But
I've
the
been
think about it. How
emailing
many? How many of them?
Governor Abbott of
How
Texas
many?
to start our own currency. You're exactly
But
fucking
how
right.
many? But how many of them? How many has it worked for? Like, think about it. Like how many people have said we're going to do this and we're going to build that? How many has it worked for?
I'd
Hey,
say more in
hold,
the future, 50.
hold on. I'm gonna
More.
pretend. I'm gonna
Did,
pretend to be co-host, and we'll go to hands because I did cut off Coco earlier, and so I want to give the mic back to him. But Ragsy, it's
yeah,
Ethereum. It's Ethereum. That's what they're building.
it is
yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I actually think that, and this is just my opinion. I think that when you have big institutions get their hands on something, I think that one of the things that's going to happen is it's going to mute the volatility a little bit. So, one of like people forget that the volatility of crypto is a feature. It's not a bug, right? Like that's how you make your money. You make your money in the volatility. That's how we can get these massive X's. So,
Someone has to lose to win.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think like one of the things that I want everyone to be bullish, and I haven't really fudded the fact that all these big institutions are coming in. But like, when's the last time that big institutions came and like got their hands on everything and they did it for the people? No, they're doing it for themselves because they want to make a whole bunch of fucking money. So while it's great that there's more money coming into the market, they're trying to find a way to silo that money and control it. And eventually, this is what I don't like about it, is they're going to have so much control over where the crypto prices go that I think it's actually going to mute the volatility of Bitcoin. So that's my thesis on it. I don't think it's going to happen like right away, but I think the more and more you see these big institutions get control of it, right? Like possession of the crypto gives them a lot of power to
That would fucking suck.
take it where it wants to go, right? And that's why, like you see meme coins mostly are pushed by the people, and you see like this volatility because there's, I guess you would call it kind of like free will of token velocity. What if you have all the institutions, say the institutions control, I don't know, 40% of the Bitcoin or 60% of the Bitcoin at some point, right? That's not going to be good for like price discovery. I'm telling you, because that means that they're going to be able to take it wherever they want it to go and they're going to control it. Whereas crypto was created for the people.
You
Like,
think about currency debasement of the
yeah.
United States fiat experiment. If that, to me, it's 50.1% that the U.S. government made Bitcoin, and that's a big conversation. But they debase the currency into a sound monetary policy, which is a new digital gold that is much more trackable than gold, and gold is also finite to acquire right now. You have to go mine it, and it's only worth as much as it is the cost to mine it. And the price going up is certainly encouraging for miners to go out there and mine and hold it. Most miners actually get rid of. They don't hold Bitcoin. There are a few that do, but I'm sorry, gold. But to what you said about volatility, the people who are more in front on Bitcoin can use the volatility to shake out everybody fleeing dollar, fleeing making a choice on trying to get gold at higher prices. And it's definitely this interesting play of, you've got a point there, is that the more money comes in, the volatility goes away. But at scale, these fucking guys, I think, could use that to shake out people from Bitcoin, just like a lot of the miners do today.
Yeah, I mean the average person, right? Like, let's say you're just the average person that has bought Bitcoin at, I don't know, like somebody that got in early, right? Like got like relatively early at like 5K, right? That's not early, but that's relatively early, I would say, right? So you bought Bitcoin at 5K and you got a nice bag of it. And let's say 10 years from now, Bitcoin's at, I don't know, 500K, 800K a Bitcoin, which is possible, right? Maybe even a million, right? The majority of the average person that's not connected to like some huge fund or some huge institution is going to sell that Bitcoin for USD, for the dollar that is quickly becoming worthless, right? So what happens there? Then they sell that and the institutions get it, right? And then they keep controlling it, and then they like you said, they shake people out of Bitcoin for the currency that is wildly becoming hyperinflated and is losing its actual value, right? So then all of a sudden they control all the power, and we've taken, like, I guess, the quick fix or the nice bag now, right, for this point in time, and then over time they start to monopolize it. Um,
I think it's
that's
time for
I,
crypto
I
and
will
Web
sell. I
three
will sell
to.
the shit out of my Bitcoin at 800K, bro,
I,
all day.
Coco, Coco,
yeah,
Coco,
it's
you and
true.
I are on a big page. I think you have like a very strong understanding of banking and how you
Yeah,
see. I agree with how you see a lot of,
yeah,
because you talk about a big macro futuristic picture,
yeah,
and
yeah.
that is, I think it's time that Web3 us start talking about Bitcoin being a Trojan horse and pushing against the maxis. Not that I'm not going to continue to hold it, but about hedging out of it. And I think Bitcoin might be the ultimate diamond hand play. It obviously has been. It's the leader. but there's a certain risk inherent with Bitcoin. We don't know who made it, how convenient the lore, how convenient the fiat experiment is falling while it gains popularity, how convenient that the United States government has not only allowed it, but has promoted it through Wall Street ETFs, and that I don't know. I just don't hear enough of
Yeah.
pushing against the maxis because this is a serious conversation.
Yeah, no, I agree. You know, like, and it's kind of like the word that's like it basically is the shining pillar of crypto that everyone thinks about when they think of, like, you tell someone you're into crypto, they go, "Oh, you're talking about Bitcoin, right?" They don't say, "Oh, you're talking about Ether, right?" So like that's the thing is like Bitcoin has been ordained as like the crypto, right? Like the god chain or whatever you would call it, right? But there is, I mean, we say like, okay, so and so could flip Bitcoin, you know, so and so could do this, so and so could do that. But up until now, all we've seen is Bitcoin is basically it's basically the Federal Reserve of crypto, right? Like where Bitcoin goes, the rest of the market goes, right? The market has not decoupled from Bitcoin at any point. So like until we see like other cryptos like really decoupling and like making strides while Bitcoin is absolutely, and I'm talking about big cryptos, right? I'm talking about cryptos with significant market caps sending while Bitcoin is absolutely dumping, then we can start talking about a different scenario where it's not going to be the end all be all for crypto. Let's take this for instance. Let's say Bitcoin is in a bear market or Bitcoin drops 30%, but then something like a BNB goes up 400%. That would be something that has never fucking happened before because of how significant the BNB market cap is, and that would mean that like it's kind of decoupling from being weighted to wherever Bitcoin goes, right? Bitcoin drops, the whole market drops. That we've never seen a time where Bitcoin has dropped 30% that it hasn't affected the entire market.
Or if like the guy with 1 million Bitcoin moves one.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
What if
But
what if all of us connected around the world and that we're good people? Because the idea of Bitcoin is decentralizing. It's the people's money. Quote unfucking quote. How convenient that this thing is here and it's being allowed by the U.S. government and all these governments, right? So I'm never going to believe anything. I'm always going to keep thinking. So let's say billions of us could all connect and launch a coin tomorrow. In the week, let's say in a week we told everybody it's going to be called Coco Coin. It's the new Bitcoin. Because the problem with
Scam.
decentralization is the more that us as free people who aren't BlackRock and State Street and Vanguard and whoever the hell, the more that we get better at organizing, the more that these bigger centralized institutions are going to try to front run what we do. So the more we continue to decentralize and more effective we are at it, the more they're going to adapt and invest in the very things. So if some one guy or a group of guys who saw the failed experiment of the fiat dollar created Bitcoin, which is what a lot of us want to believe because that's like the ultimate lore, right? The Pepe of like challenging the dollar, which is why I love Pepe. If that's the case, the system will see how much traction this is getting and they'll go invest in it. So we can't escape. What is required of people like us having this conversation is agility and the ability to adapt to something that's changing. And that's what, don't marry your bags. Have you ever heard anybody say that about Bitcoin? No. And it's
yeah,
time that we start having that conversation because it could be the bad black horse that Ragsy calls the up and comers that aren't expected, and that's y'all know what I'm saying.
look, I
but
want to say
take it,
one thing
take
real
this
quick.
example.
I want to
Go
say
ahead.
one thing real quick. This is what I know. Bitcoin's a CTO. Lil Bub's a CTO. Crying is a CTO. Crying is gonna flip Bitcoin. Bub is gonna flip Bitcoin because
100%, bro. 100%.
it's the new CTO. Now, I'm sorry if you're late to the party, but the good news is you're not late to Lil Bub. You're sure as hell not late to crying. It just got out of the womb. Since Bitcoin was a CTO and crying is a CTO, if you believe in Bitcoin and you don't hold crying, I greatly question your belief in decentralization. So
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just gonna say the tongue stays out, all right?
let's go.
And they don't want it like we want it.
It's true. But Bitcoin's dev still has 1 million coins.
A three plus
Yo,
the rope.
Elon just DM'd me. He said, "Congratulations, you're in the #1 space in crypto." So retweet the fucking space.
The tongue stays out.
I don't know what to do, I don't know what to say, so I say, hey, looga, please go away, looga, hey, hey. I don't know what to do, I don't
Y'all,
know what to say.
normally when I'm on Nobu's night space, this is around the time that I kick it. I gotta bounce. But before I do, I just want to say two things. Number one, there's some assets that are in your wallet. They're not coming back. You need to take them out back your house, and you need to put that shit down. Right? You need to just let it go. You need to put it down. You're fucking around with bullshit, and there's clearly the next Bitcoin staring you in the face.
Do it again.
Take it
Do it
out
again.
back, put it down. And lastly, all I'm going to say,
Goodbye, my lover, goodbye, my friend.
it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Love you, Jules.
No,
You're the
don't
man.
leave.
Yo,
Then we'll
everybody
have no
follow
one to
Jules,
gang up
guys.
on.
Yo,
No,
Nah, Jules has got some good debate. I
no,
love
I
it.
don't
It's
feel
good.
he's a
ganged up
legend.
on.
He's a
I
legend.
loved this conversation. I hope no one took offense with my,
No, of
I
my
course,
love
bro.
that
That was
bullish shit,
great.
bro. I want like fucking $300 billion coins.
Jules,
Let's
I'm
go.
taking full offense that you're going to bed at 11:11, but it's all good, bro.
well, I mean, bro, we're actually we started spaces around the same time. I've just done 5 other ones before this one. So my brain's a little cooked.
Bro, we cooked today. We made profits today.
Yes,
We
sir.
pushed, dude. We pushed Crying Cat up 25% on
In
the
an
daily.
hour and a half, brother. They don't want it like we want it. So let the Jeets Jeet, let the Fudders Fud. Y'all keep
Yep.
crying. Cry me a river. I got my kayak. I'm going down Bitcoin Main Street, aka Lil Bub Main Street, next Bitcoin, aka Lil Crying Street. Like, let's send this shit. Cause I'll tell you what, man, there's some lazy ass motherfuckers in this game right now. That's okay. You know what I say? Good. You know why? I'll go get the liquidity for me and my homies while you sit there with your thumbs up your ass wondering when the dev's gonna do a buyback. Okay?
Good.
Good. Love y'all.
Good.
Love you, Jules.
Yo, you guys follow Jules and turn his notifications on because he hosts some of the greatest spaces on crypto Twitter as well. He does a lot of spaces throughout the day. So you make sure you follow him and you turn on the notifications if you want to be notified about when he launches his space.
Hey, I just want to let everyone know that I bought the dip on crying, and on that buy, I'm up like 25% on the day.
Let's
So you had a
fucking
golden
go.
opportunity. I even wrote it inside I wrote it inside the chat. I said, this is a generational dip. This is the Jenny dip right now. And I fucking bought it. I said, buying now. And
I
I'm up
think we tapped
25.
800K today.
Yeah, I'm up 20. Well, no, I'm up more. I'm up 30%.
I
30,
like that
30.
that slang. That slang is hot right there. This is the Jenny dip of crying.
Coco's a
Hey,
goat, man. Coco's a
who's
fucking
gonna
goat. He's been
be
supporting the chart.
who's gonna be the new Jules? Like, who are we gonna debate now?
I don't know. Well, Jules is, I
Crypto
love
G.
it, bro. I'm a giga bull too.
Crypto
Like,
G loves being the devil's advocate.
yeah. I don't know, man. Like,
But I don't know if she's there. You there, Crypto G? Welcome to the stage.
I thought I was bullish, bro. Jules makes me look like a fucking scrub with the bullish shit, bro.
Well, his numbers once that's why I brought up the market cap because I was thinking like Jules, I need some of whatever the fuck you're smoking. I want to be good.
Yeah, he makes me
Then
look
when
reasonable, you know.
yeah, but then when he said, "Oh, well, I think the market cap is this," if his market cap is correct, then his numbers do make
I
sense because
hope
they
to
line up
God that man
nicely.
is correct, bro. I hope to God he's correct.
guys, this is totally off topic, but I just wanted to let you guys know that, you got two pink board apes up here with Fiddy and Pinky, and I don't want you to think that's a representative of like what cool Bored Apes look like.
Do you
Yeah,
know
when
what?
I get my
100%.
Bored Ape back with
You,
its
Shit is
fucking
dude,
cheetah print,
100%,
like
bro.
it's on,
Ragsy's
bro. You guys
pink
are gonna
too,
see
man.
what a
Bro,
real fucking Bored Ape looks like. You know, not
bro,
them and their pink
I
little
think
apes.
this
All
was
right,
the
they're
bottom
not
signal.
representing the Bored Apes the
bro,
right
this is
way.
the, you
Okay.
know what these are
This is
called?
the
This is called
bottom
a,
signal.
yours is a floor ape, dude. We got rare. This is
I'm
the rare
pretty
shit up
sure
here,
this was
man.
the bottom signal.
I'm not.
That
It's
over
really bothering
Lord.
me that the representation of the Bored Apes is two pink apes. You know, when there
Bro,
could be
we're,
like this awesome cheetah print ape up here, but my account's suspended.
bro,
You know?
get a fucking joint in my mouth with a fucking cowboy hat. I don't even listen to country music, bro.
This is where people talk shit, but they're having fun and it's in good faith. They're not calling each other. Anybody, fuck, Coco, you're a scammer. Hey, my dog, Maria, you're a scammer. Fucking having good times, immaculate vibes, dude.
Look,
Yeah,
bro, here's the
nah,
thing,
fuck
bro.
these
Like
guys.
Twitter, look, X spoke. It didn't want you here anymore, okay, Coco. So it got
Shut
rid
the
of you.
hell up.
X spoke. It said, "Look, bro, we can't have this fucking ugly cheetah here anymore."
Oh man. I'll tell you what, bro. When I get my account back, bro, I am raining hellfire down on X with the fucking shilling.
Bro, the most horrible shit ever that just pops up on my timeline, and they're blocking your account. What does
Bro,
that
I
say,
low
bro?
key miss getting Coco's engagements on my shit now that I think about it. Fuck, bro. Now that you reminded me of that, I miss seeing those notifications pop up.
I don't know. I thought I had some pretty funny shit to say every once in a while. I fucking want my account back, bro.
Have
Wait,
you heard any
we
word?
should
Are they
start
are
a
they giving you?
GoFundMe for Coco's X account back.
Have they not given you any word on like what the fuck's going on? Just silence.
Nope. Nope. Elon's fucking up.
I bet you anything you get it back.
I think
Yeah,
I
that
will
was
too, but
that
I was
was a
just
good
like, I've had
$1,500 I
some guys
spent.
say it take them like 5 to 8 weeks. I'm just like, fuck, man.
2 weeks, 2.5 weeks for mine, and
Okay.
I was nobody.
All right.
How
Yeah,
long's it
Coco,
been?
you get it back. Just keep nagging them. You didn't break the guidelines, so people usually get it back in two to
I mean,
three
I
weeks.
don't think I did. Like, I'm not doing anything that nobody else is doing. I still
Well, look,
bub.
look, bro. As long as look, there's a new fucking ape in town that's the king of Saf now. All right, you're not here anymore. I got to step in, take the reins. You know what I mean? The fucking X has spoken. The people have spoken.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's brother shit talking right there. Hey, you know what's funny about Jules being so bearish? Because sometimes he scares me how bearish. I'm sorry, bullish. How bullish he is. Is that when you look at the internet adoption and let's say look at the two technologies before it would be um, cell phone towers, which are the what do they call them? Giga. The they transmit like quad billions of bits per second. They're the cell towers that have the white rectangular things on it. Anyways, each network effect builds on top of each other, and so you had cell phone, internet, and then you could look at the tablet, but that's really using the others. And you look how Web3 and Bitcoin is tracking against internet adoption. And if these are networks, and we're tracking right now with internet adoption, and the internet has made half of the world's life better. It's something that is just a no brainer that everybody wants. And so, if we were to assume that about Bitcoin at scale, even though retail isn't getting stymie checks and people have two jobs, there's something to be said about Bitcoin's early majority phase. It's innovators, early adopters, early majority, late majority, laggards. Then maybe you can get there. I'm just not convinced that it's this year or next 18 months, and it might be the next. But Jules is super bullish, like one of the most bullish people I've heard in my life. And it's nice to hear, but it just scares me a little bit.
Well, if he thinks if it, that's what I was saying though, like if according to his market cap, if that gets hit, then his numbers make sense. So we'll just take my scenario, which was about double last market cap. So that's about 4.5. Take his is 8 to 10, cut it in half. 5 to 6 bill. That's the max this cycle.
So here's the thing, though, to think about, right? Like, I think everybody here that's in this space that's sitting here for 13 hours, like a bunch of fucking lunatics, I'm pretty sure we're all in this shit for the long run, right? So at the end of the day, it makes no fucking difference how long it takes because we're all going to be here and we're all going to reach those numbers. And like Bitcoin will probably hit $1 million at some point. So right now, this is just like the in between game. We're just playing the guessing game. But the reality is that money is going to flow into crypto. Meme coins, there will be some that eventually hit 100 billion. And I like the way I look at it is like a 10-year, like you know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. I'm happy with where we're at right now. If we stayed right here and got to play around in this range for fucking 3 years straight, I would be happy. I'd be stoked. You know, like this is fun. Like people forget how shitty a bear market is. And like everybody's so excited about hitting that top, but as soon as you hit the peak, you're going down, baby. So be careful what you wish for and just enjoy the time you got here and make all the moves you can, you know?
What do you think
Yeah.
about the super cycle like
I
talk?
I, I would
I,
I mean, I think like oh go ahead. Go ahead, Regsy.
no, you go first, Pinky. I'll go after
No,
you.
I think the super cycle could be a thing, and I think with all the ETFs and all this crazy shit happening, but like every cycle, it's always the kind of the same talk, right? Like you have all these crazy catalysts, and until I agree with Jules in this, and that like until something changes, you got to kind of go off what we know. I'm still like a maxi on like the cycles, right? Until the cycle breaks, I'm gonna stick to it. This could be the cycle that it breaks, but I've been through 3 cycles already. It's always kind of the same thing, right? Everybody gets ultra
Yeah.
bullish, and there's all these like new catalysts and this and that, and it always does the same thing. It goes way higher than you think, and then it goes way lower than you think it could. So until that breaks, I'm gonna stick to that. I mean, if it's a super cycle, great, that'd be amazing. But up to this point, I'm gonna play it like it's a cyclical game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I don't, yeah, I don't know if I think it's a super cycle, but I think so. This is another thing I disagree with Jules, where Jules could actually be 100% correct. He said he thinks the bull is going into November, December next year, Q4 2025.
Mm,
I don't, I disagree. I think because it is a super cycle, it's going to get cut short. But this is all speculation. We'll know when they announce when they're going to cut the interest rates, because if they keep delaying the interest rate cuts, well, then it probably will go the full year 2025. I think because they've been taking their sweet ass fucking time, they're probably going to cut one this year, if not September, which is looking like not September. They'll cut it right after the election, which means that they will do the next cuts probably in Q1 of next year. And so I'm thinking the bull run, in my mind, if that happens, is not going to last the entire year. But if they delay the rate cuts, then it will. So it does kind of depend on a lot of things. That's why I try not to predict too far out, like a year in advance, because other things can come into play that can change your answer. So, like for example, my initial top calculation for Bitcoin was 92,000. That was before the ETF got approved. The ETF changed everything. So I had to change my number, right? So if I was telling everyone in the bear, hey guys, it's going to be 92, 92, there is no ETF yet. So now we have an ETF. So I had to change, I had to like recalculate, my estimates and stuff. So I try not to predict too far out and year in advance, because other things can come into play that can throw off your entire plan. You really can only plan it like maybe a few months out at a time, few weeks out at a time, because different things happen. Look how many people took out longs in July, and then surprise, July 2nd, entire country was like dumping their $6 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? And you had a stock market crash later that same month. So that's why, for me, I try not to predict too far out. I like to have an idea, but I like to be flexible with my numbers and answers. Also, like something could happen that would actually make this scenario true, that the bull run lasts till the end of 2025 and Bitcoin goes crazy to 200,000. There is a possibility like that could happen if we got other bullish that like countries legalizing Bitcoin everywhere, so it's hard to tell, predict far out, because crypto is constantly changing. There's new regulations and policies changing around the world all the time. And there's different black swan events that can I call them black swans, they're not technically, I call them crypto black swan events that can kind of derail the momentum. That's kind of what we saw in July with all the different events that happened in July. So so yeah, so I don't think we're going to go as of now. I don't see it going a full year to 2025, but there's definitely like catalysts that could make me change my answer. I think it's going to get cut short in 2025.
So, like, when we say the end of the bull run, right, are we talking about the peak and when it starts going down? So from the peak in, because that's bear, right? As soon as it goes to the top and then it starts going downward, that's a bear
Yeah.
market, right? So we're talking, you think that we're gonna peak at in 2025, in when? Like around when?
Uh
Quarter four, I
I
think you
would
said, yeah.
So around November or something like that, October, November, something like that. So about
Jules
a
was
year.
saying the year. I'm saying it's going to be far up because of the super cycle. Everything got pushed up, so I don't
Hmm.
think we're going to make it till the
So we'll
end
go
of the
like
year. But like I
halfway through the
said,
year.
yeah, but something could happen that changes that. Like some crazy like countries could start legalizing Bitcoin
You
everywhere. So it's like
you know
the
what's
answer could
funny?
change.
You know what's funny that's true that no one talks about? The place you can make the most money is the 5 to 6 months after the peak of the run. Because what happens is you have tons of projects that made a whole bunch of money and stuff, and they're starting to go down, and everybody's fighting and trying to figure out ways to keep their price up, right? So they go kind of crazy. A lot of people, it's like their first cycle, they make a whole bunch of money. You have projects that do really well, and they don't know how to handle a bear market. So what they do is I've seen it time and time again. They piss all their money away on the way down, trying to save it, right? As opposed to just holding and saving their money and letting the cycles play out. So if you play it right, you actually can make more money as a trader at the end of a bull run for about 6 months, because you have frantic projects frantically trying to make up all their losses. You have people trying to make up their losses, right? They're throwing money into other things, trying to fight the cycles and fight the downtrend. So I actually like, I think like you at the peak of a bull run and for about 6 months after that, you can still make a fuck ton of money.
Yeah, that's a really really good point. I know
That's
some
true.
shorted Carolina, shorted Carolina did a fucking fortune at the end of the bull.
And you got to remember, when you buy at the bottom, it's all a bull run upward, right? So if you're smart and you collect all your money, the minute that you buying at the bottom, which is always about 30% lower than you think it can go, if you buy there, you have a much longer bull run because you have a very high climb up, right? And you're making profits the whole way. So the smart thing to do is just make sure you're buying shit up at the bottom, because then you have an extended bull run no matter what.
Yeah, and
Dude,
actually
that was alpha, man.
for sure, dude. And Coco, I was not in that space, but I did buy that bottom Bitcoin, and it's kind of like what Pinky just said, right? Why Coco said that was the best bet, because it's like, okay, crypto is risky and volatile and shit. People lose a lot of money, but it's like, in my mind, just my opinion, not financial advice, Bitcoin was the sure thing. So my guesstimate for the bottom of Bitcoin was 15. I think it went to 16, just a hair higher, right?
Yeah.
So so when I saw that, I was just bought the fuck out of it. I'm like, oh fuck stocks, just shove my cash in here because I know in a year this shit's gonna go up. That's all I need to know. So
Yep.
I bought the bottom too. I just bought a fuck ton of Bitcoin.
Yeah, I put like, because I had stabled up pretty hard, like at the end of the bull run. Like I didn't catch the very very top, but like when I start stabling, like I'm pretty aggressive with it. But I also had a strategy, and my this strategy is also in place for like this my coins that are really been performing really well, that I've hit lots and lots of X's for. But not my conviction plays, just other things that I've gotten into that did well. Um, and I think that they still have time to go. When I feel like we're in a bull run, I would literally shave 10% off my portfolio and stable it up, regardless of where my portfolio is. If I know that we're in like a full blown bull run, I'm doing that every single month, regardless where my portfolio is, because like when you're in the bull run, like you're on borrowed time, right? Like when you know that shit's fucking sending, like when it's just like confirmed, bull flag green, like all engines are on, right? Like just to be safe, like you don't want to like you want to always be taking when you hit massive X's, especially on your altcoins. Like it's don't sell them all, but just take like take a percentage off the table and turn it into stables because those stables are the most valuable thing you can have in a bear market, bro. It puts you in such a good position. And it's
A
positioned you
bear
so
market
good
or a bull market? I thought you were
in a
talking
bear
about.
market. In a bear
Oh,
market.
oh, and a
So like
bear.
so having those stables gives you so much flexibility to like catch bottoms and be able to ride into the next bull run. Like it because when you know you have that stable asset in the bear market, you can just like it's done me so well this cycle. Being able to take bets. Like I even had some of my stables saved. Like the smartest thing would have been to deploy all your stables like I would say like six 6 months ago they should have been all deployed into crypto different assets, right? But I still had like a couple $100,000 in stables that I was holding on to. And when we had that last big dip, I deployed it all into like memes that I really have a lot of conviction in. And like it's done me really well. So it's like stables are so good to have because I don't want to be trading my BNB or my Bitcoin into coins right now. I want to be holding those because those can send too, right? So those stables are so nice to have to be able to deploy into stuff on these big dips that you get during every cycle. So it's just like it's such a powerful tool to be able to like multiply your wealth like systematically.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
I did everything you just said too. We must think alike. We must be
Yes,
two
sir.
thieves in a crypto pond because we did the exact same shit. And
It's the Warren Buffett approach. It's dry powder.
Can somebody just tell me like when USDT is gonna 1000x? Because I've really been waiting for that. Someone told me that like do
Never.
that, and
Well, I
it's
was
just
I
it's
was
not
hanging out with
moving.
the founder of Tether at Burning Man eating tuna fish and crackers in the desert
Yeah,
like
did he
two
tell
days
you?
ago.
Because like I've been waiting for like Tether to 1000x too, and like nobody's.
Tell him to
And
fucking print some fucking tether and buy a bunch of crying and bub right now.
that's what I'm
you know,
saying, man.
if anyone in the audience wants to play a really, really mean joke on your friend, when they ask you, yo, man, what meme coin should I buy? Yeah, just tell them Tether.
But
That's
you
I'm
might be
doing
you might be
that.
doing him a favor though.
I'm doing that.
Yeah, no shit. No, I actually have a funny story about that. One of my buddies years back, last cycle, bought his first crypto ever, and like a few weeks later, he was like, "Bro, like it's not doing anything." I was like, "Well, what'd you buy?" He's like, "Something called USDT." I'm like, "Oh my god, get the fuck out of here!" So that's a real thing. People really do that. Buy USDT and expect it to go up.
Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, I thought
because
I thought telling all my friends to buy Bitcoin and shoot, what was the other one? Cardano and Ethereum in
How did I
2021 and
know you
at
were literally
Christmas.
going to say Cardano just now?
Shout out to
Ah.
Charles Hoskin.
dude, Charles so much, but like, bro, I love cheese. He's like one of my favorite like seats. It's weird because CTO, but like as in chief technology officer, not like a CTO. But Cardano, like now, is definitely a CTO, bro. Like I don't know what to tell people. I love Charles though. He's amazing.
Oh man, I have a funny ass Cardano story, I swear. Like, so when Doge was like taking its first rip, I had like 3 grand, and I had one of my buddies who loved Cardano. He was just all about it. And he's like, bro, take that 3,000 and throw it in a Cardano, bro, and that's just gonna 100x. And I'm like, well, bro, like, there's this project that I keep seeing on YouTube, and like all these people are talking about this project called Doge. Like, I'm thinking I should throw it there. And he's like, nah, fuck that, bro. It's that's a scam. That's called a meme coin. And I'm like, what the fuck is a meme coin? And like they were telling me about it, and I'm like, huh, all right, I'll throw it into a little into Cardano and maybe some XRP. And sure as shit, Doge went all the way up. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Meme coins. That's my thing. That's what I want to get into.
Yeah, it's just more
Yeah,
fun. It's just more fun. Everything else is fucking boring.
I was talking to some people about like meme coins the other day and like why they're so like bullish to people, and maybe you guys might relate to this, but life, like, people come to crypto to get out of their like mundane lives. They're like, man, like I've been working this job for so long, and I'm just looking to make my mills somewhere. I'm looking to to grow my funds. And meme coins takes people out of that mundane life. It's like a place where like people can come and have some fun, buying Crying Cat or BUB here I see, or some of the projects that I'm working on. It takes people out of that mundane thing where it's like, man, like this is hilarious. Like I'm buying a freaking project called Dog with Hat and making millions while I've been working this job for freaking 20 years or however long they've been working at their job. And it's like, no, I could buy a project called Dog with Hat, laugh my ass off, and make millions.
It's true,
Like,
man.
so
You know what's
so
crazy
badass.
too? You know what's crazy is like I remember COVID and stuff, and like I felt so bad for all the people around me because it literally like I COVID sucked for everybody. I didn't have that bad of a time because like I literally was so tuned in to crypto that those fucking years like literally went by, and without crypto, I would have been like I would have gone crazy, bro. You know what I
Oh,
mean? I
facts,
was
bro.
so
Yeah.
fucking tuned into crypto at the time that like I don't like everyone around me, all my homies that aren't crypto people, all I would hear is these horrible stories about, they're at home and this and that. I'm like, everybody that was in crypto around that time, life wasn't that bad.
No,
Life
it
was actually
wasn't.
pretty goddamn good in
It
a
was
lot of ways.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, like it's like fuck, man. Crypto literally probably saved so many people in that time, man. In that little span of just craziness in the world. It was like the safe haven, bro. So like people forget about that, but crypto was fucking amazing in those times.
Dude, and that's one thing that I like fully remember is like those old bull run vibes, man. It's like I think everybody's been really like waiting for that type of stuff to come back, and a lot of people that didn't even get a chance to live like their life through the bull run, like don't even know what that feels like or what that even looks like. I mean, I see people right now like, in crypto, and I do see how much it's changed. Like I think someone mentioned earlier where like people talk about like marrying your bags or whatever. Back in the day, man, we were able to marry our bags. Like I was buying into freaking Safe Moon where it was only like 300 holders, and sure as shit, like it went all the way up, and that's because I married that shit. I put in, I don't know, I think I put in like $300. That was one of like my first moonshots, and it became $70,000 within like a few weeks. And
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy, dude. It's
That's
crazy.
awesome,
And
man.
but the thing about this season, right, for people is like, I've heard a lot of people, say like don't marry your bags, don't marry your bags. But here's the thing, man, like in the last bull run, if it wasn't for us like marrying some of those bags, we wouldn't be where we are today.
I think the
Like we
correct
would,
phrase is don't marry all your bags, probably.
yeah,
Marry
that
a
is
couple of them. Just don't marry
no,
them all.
exactly. I mean, and that's where like do your own research comes into place, right? Is like, you got to do your research on this stuff and see like, is this worth marrying? And
True,
you got to
that's
find your
facts.
reasons. You got to find your reasons if you want to marry it or not. Like Crying Cat. Like look at Crying Cat. It's a great fucking project. And yeah, maybe it's a CTO or whatever, but it has some pretty fucking based people in there.
Yeah,
And
there's a
there's
lot of jaded shit, right? Like, so, like, for instance, with Crying Cat, the shit I look at, like, you look at community, you look at motherfuckers that are showing up every day, you look at the meme itself, you look at all the check marks, right, on the boxes. The problem is people get so jaded with, like, the pump fun era. They just get trained to like go through so many coins and to like just get rid of all the coins anytime something's not going perfectly, right? So you get
hmm
like you're training, it's training everybody to have this really stupid way of looking at tokens, and I think that's what's worse, the worse than the money you're going to lose trying to jump into every shitcoin. you're training yourself to get in that pattern, and then you're gonna miss all the fucking good ones you should be like marrying, like you said, because
Yeah.
your brain, it's hard to do both, right? Like you can't. Most people can't do both. They can't play that game and also fucking have conviction in projects. It's very
Yeah, you're
hard to like.
training yourself not to have conviction.
Exactly. You're looking for all the reasons to get the fuck out when we're at the time in the market where we're about to go into a parabolic run, and you need to be fucking have your bags packed in the good ones. And you can dabble or whatever, but 80% of your fucking money you're spending should be in conviction plays right now at the time in the market that we're in. But the problem
Oh, for
is
sure.
95% of people are training themselves out of that, and that's why very few people win in this game. That
Hmm.
it's because you got to train yourself the right way, for sure.
For sure. Yeah. I agree. I agree. I mean, let's see. What was so like one of the most bullish projects I was ever able to be a part of was Cheddar on ETH back in the day, right? January of 2022 went to a $2.6 billion market cap in 30 days. And we like I told everybody at the beginning of the project, like, look, like this is going all the way up. All you got to do is buy, don't sell, allow anybody who wants to sell out. And instead of calling them a jeet or whatever and making them feel uncomfortable, just congratulate them for helping you get to whatever level you got to, and then buy them out, and then keep the project going up.
How about a
A-
paper-handed pussy? Can you call him that?
I mean, sure, if you want to. But I'm just saying, when I look at it like that, and it's like, yeah, it can be really simple for people. You know, make buy, don't sell. If people decide to sell, then I mean, at least you hope there's a ton of people that would come behind that person and buy them out, and then keep it moving up. And guess what? It's gonna attract a lot of freaking people because why? People know how to respect the buys. People see that people are buying instead of selling, and then it just keeps on going. And then guess what? Before you know it, you're sitting at a 5 mil market cap, 10 mil market cap, 20, 100,
Shout out
200.
little Bub. They've really done a good job, and those of us who are in crying and other projects that may be listening, is they really have a culture of hold. And I'm not exactly sure how they do this. I'd love to hear it. But you go look on Jeet Screener, and diamond hand percentage on Bub is I want to say it's like 80
Yeah, it's
something.
like I think it's around 80 something
It's
percent. Yeah.
ridiculous. That means 4 out of 5 people, 8 out of 10 people are buying, and they have yet to sell. Diamond hand is there's not a sell.
Yeah,
Uh,
we're definitely a bunch of fucking psychos over there, bro. Like nobody that's
How
like
y'all doing it?
we just I don't know, man. We all
I
just have the
can
same vision, man. You speak on it, cowboy.
I can kind of touch on it. Honestly, I'd give Coco his flowers a little bit on this one. I mean, even when we were at a 2 mil market cap, we were prefacing this as the the Dogecoin of this upcoming cycle. Like we were just from the get go prefacing this token as a bull run play. Like don't just buy this to flip it before the bull run even starts. Like this thing is gonna ride out all the way through the bull run. And so every time we shill someone the token, that's just the way we preface it: is buy this, put it in your hidden folder, and plan on holding it for months. And when people join the Telegram, they're usually greeted with "Welcome to your next conviction play." It's just from the week one, we've just constantly been prefacing it as a long term bull run play. I think that has a lot to do with it. Is it's just that's how it was just embedded in people's brain from the get go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I think
stick.
I think I think a lot of it's lead by example too, right? Like, Coco went completely mentally insane and like pulled every single like favor, everything he had, right? Like everybody's going 100% on it. And it takes a lot of fucking conviction, like from everybody involved. And we got a little lucky too, like the people that surrounded it, right? Like we just got like such a fucking dope core group of people that have the same vision. Like nobody here gives a fuck about
selling anything until we're at like a billion. Like we literally don't care what the market cap is. We don't give a fuck if it's we nuke 20 million in a day. We don't care if we pump 40. Like the same vibe is there. Nobody cares and nobody's happy until we're literally like further than we all think this can go. And even
Yeah,
then we
like
probably won't sell.
yeah, like even today, like when we were all hanging out in the Telegram voice chat. I mean, we almost touched ATH today, and nobody even mentioned it. Like conversation just stayed the same, and I think Pinky actually started this. I believe it was Pinky. Is no smiling till 100 million. I don't even want to see a smirk.
Yeah, you're not
Like
allowed to fucking smile
there's
until
no
you
smiling till 100 million. Like then you can smile, and guess what? That's when the real work starts.
That's
But
culture right there, and that's leadership. I think I'm kind of humbled by that. Maybe I should be a little more. You get a lot of people saying this is going to billion. Yeah, everybody fucking says that, but there's also a different demeanor. There's the type of person who just flippantly says it, and then there's the type of person who has demonstrated. And I mean, I think Pinky, you and your brother have demonstrated a lot, and that there's a real belief in it, and it's part of the culture that, like you had said, Bubba Count, that this is a long-term play. Like, don't think of this as a week or a month. This is something that you understand the cycle. You understand there's a parabolic banana zone, and maybe then you don't have to hold. And we understand everybody's in it for money, and some of us are going to hold till a billion, and some till a 100 million. But that's a real cultural thing, and I think it's something good that we could talk about like regularly, and really ingratiate ourselves to that type of mentality, because that's what it takes. Because these diamond hand people are ultimately a foundation that doesn't waver, and considering you can get buy pressure, that really helps to catapult the project, like we've seen
Yeah.
y'all do.
Well, yeah.
That's
So, like, yeah. Thanks for saying that too, man. Like like you said, bro. Like, kind of leadership, right? It's a CTO. There's nobody like in charge, but Coco fucking is a psycho. Like, he literally led by example. To everyone saw like how hard he went initially, and like all the strings he was pulling, and like going out on a limb and like fucking saying, "This is my coin that I'm gonna push and put everything behind." Right. So when people see that, with someone like him, that he doesn't need the money, obviously, and he's pulling all of these favors and shit from big name people, and they're reacting and responding, right? Like they're doing the calls, and we're not paying them shit. Like we're doing everything we say we're gonna do, because like there's a lot of people in this space that you can do that, right? Like you could go out on a limb if you want to. Not very many people want to do that, right? Not everyone's going to give 100% and go out on a limb for something. So when you see that, it's super contagious, and it's a big reason why these fucking whales are aping like fucking madmen, because they see all this other shit in the market, and when you see like a team and leadership that's like doing these things, you kind of can spot it like a unicorn, right? And I think that shit is just ultra contagious, man.
noted.
So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors, right? I think and job is never done, right? Like we're not anywhere near where we want to go. So like, we're gonna continue to grind, and you're gonna have fucking ups and downs. We're gonna nuke. We're gonna have runs. We're gonna have pumps. But like, I think we've also kind of weathered a lot of like crazy storms in the beginning, which I always say to people, like, that's a blessing. If you can get through the bullshit early, and like prove that you can get through like the worst of it, that shit is so strong for a community, and just for you too, like for the people that are like actually really pushing hard. When you see that, you like the people around you stick by you, and like everybody fucking can weather the storm, because you guys got a lot of bullshit thrown at you just like we did. You know what I mean? We both like we have a lot of like similarities in that way, right? Like fucking a shitstorm. And like when you get through that, man, it really does strengthen everything around it, bro. So like, I actually welcome that kind of shit, because any project that gets to crazy heights, they have to go through that. There's always a story. Every one of these coins that are at a billion, they have some crazy fucking story of what they had to weather, probably repeatedly, multiple times. And it's like, when you look back at it, it's like the best thing that could happen, you know?
You hear that crying? You hear that? It's a rite of passage. It's a
Hell yeah.
mark of a champion.
100%, bro. I mean, you guys are fucking crazy. You guys have been running spaces for like a month straight. You know what I mean? Like, if that doesn't show conviction, I don't know.
like what are you looking for in a group of people, bro? Like people that show up every day and grind. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got a fat bag of crying. I keep adding to it. Like I
Yeah,
think of crying as a bull run play too. You know?
yeah, Lil Bub has done a really great job. Um, I just want to say for the record, like I don't necessarily agree with everybody on stage, so I have my own opinion on my own person. Especially when it comes to holding different meme coins and stuff. My opinion is everyone's got to do what's best for them. Like, if you can't hold it, don't hold it, sell it. Like, I know we have different opinions, but I just want to state that because I have a really big audience. Like, I don't necessarily agree with everything everyone said, but I think everyone who's spoken tonight is brilliant. And Yeah, but Lil Bub has done a phenomenal job because for those of you who don't know the story, there was a competing token that was actually ahead, and this community takeover actually passed it and has been holding up pretty well. I also love crying because I like to bet on people. So like I'll have my different categories for tokens. I'll have my top plays, like conviction plays. I just think of it differently. So it's not like, oh, Lil Bub and crying isn't a conviction play. It's not, I don't look at it as that way. I look at it as I found crying and Lil Bub through the people. And I wanted to bet on those people. I'm bullish more on the people in these communities, then the ticker could be anything, in my opinion. I'm more bullish on the people. Like, I'm bullish on the people that wanted to see Little Bub succeed. I'm bullish on the people that want to see Crying succeed. So for me, they really are community takeovers, right? Because it was the community that I wanted to bet on for both of these specific tickers. I have both of them. For other things, for top plays, it's not as much about the community and people behind it as is the numbers, and is the meme amazing, and does it have potential to get listings and all of this data, right? But for these two, I will say, like, when you're going to bet on community takeovers, you have to go first to the community. Like, who cares what the ticker is, right? It's a community takeover. So I was asked, well, who's in the community, right? And then I'll hang out in the spaces. I'll see like who's part of the community who wants to see it thrive. And if I'm bullish on those people, then for me, that's something I'm willing to bet on, and I want to see it through. Community takeovers are very, very hard to get to a certain level, but I want to see some of these get to the end zone because they have a lot of great people behind it that have been working very hard. So that's all I want to say.
So basically what you're saying is we're psychos for holding forever.
No, well, I watched that because
I'm just
no,
kidding,
because
man. I get it.
I'm holding forever too. Like, I got in crying like the within the first 24 hours they announced it, right? Like, there's some things I hold forever. I just don't like to. For me personally, I never tell other people what the fuck to do
Oh,
because
100%.
everyone,
Yeah.
some people they're putting $10 into this shit, and that's a lot of money to them. And then they're like, yeah, it's seven. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen Twitter screenshots of people bitching about losing $7. So it's like
Yeah,
that's why
I agree with you on that. Like we make a point not to ever talk about like price in the chat, or like if someone sells or buys, like because we don't give a fuck, right? Like if you want to go, go. You know, it's funny to us because we know where we're headed. So nobody ever shames anybody for selling or anything. Like we don't even focus on that bullshit, you know, like it's whatever. People do what the people are gonna do what they do, you know?
The wrong metric to focus on in a free market, to blame people for doing something that is their right to do, is so adverse or contradictory to what a free market is. And as kind of I'm an anarcho-capitalist, but libertarian, kind of classical liberal, there's something called the non-aggression principle. And so if you're using force or coercion or threat or belittling or condescending to try to keep something together, maybe your culture isn't that good. Maybe you don't have a long longevity. And for y'all, Lil Bub, it seems like y'all built a culture of positivity and a vibe, not of if you sell, you're a bad person. And then to what Ragsy had said, that is what Ragsy had just said, because I've heard so much FUD about different things, about that it's bad that certain people sold. And it's like it's insulting to my intelligence that I'm not ever going to sell, and that no one else should sell, at least not until I do, and that it's just it's a really naive or kind of manipulative way to try to convince people to see how they should be acting in the market. And in terms of being someone who I'd like to be a leader of crying, and that's what my goal is to create a culture of positivity and belief and produce and results and good things of building versus trying to get people who really need $7 and to convince them of what they should do with it. Those two
Yeah.
things put together are
Yeah.
really powerful.
And I just want to say I wasn't even talking necessarily about this project here. I'm just talking in general. Like I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
with all meme coins. Like I'm not gonna be like, yeah, guys, you better hold on to this. I'm somebody that's like, yo, I'm holding on to this. Here's why I'm doing it. You know, because everyone's situation's different. So, like people on this stage, right? They were saying how they were bullish on crying before. I don't know, space been going for 13 hours. They're so bullish on it. Well, it's for me, it's not even that if I'm bullish on it or not, it's irrelevant. I want to bet on the people. I'm bullish on the people, not the ticker. So it's like a different thinking, right? But that doesn't mean other people can't think about it differently. And it's kind of like the same thing with my top plays. Why have I been holding like Brett since February? Because I think it's gonna keep going up. If I thought it was gonna go down, I would have fucking sold it already. Because I've had it since February, right? So that's what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean that it's right for everybody, because people have different expectations in the space. Crypto is very global. People are from different countries. Some people like, $10 is a lot of money for them, and that I think that's wonderful. But like for me, I'm just always clear whenever I speak on stage. My opinions are geared more towards an American audience, like that are like middle class or upper middle class, right? So I don't tend to speak to everybody from a global mindset or perspective, so people might be more inclined to misconstrue what I say. So that's why I always just like clarify, like, this is my opinions are my own, this is just what I'm doing. If you're scared shitless you're gonna lose $7, then you fucking sell it or don't do meme coins. It's not for everybody, it's not everybody's game. It's my game, I love this shit, but everyone's got to do what's best for them.
I agree,
I
100%.
respect that big time. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean,
free people doing whatever they want, so long as they're not infringing on the liberty of other people. There's a lot of coercion in the meme coin space of like trying to make people feel like they're not part of the culture. That's bad to sell, and it's like quite literally half of the function of participating in free markets, buying and selling. That's good. I've never heard. We do talk a lot too, like a probably a upper middle class market, Ragsy, and yet there are a lot of people who are hearing us, who pull in $1,000 a month from other developer, what do they call it? Yeah, developing countries. It's so relative, and people, you should encourage people to do what they want to do. And I just keep going back to BUB and the diamond hands thing. I mean, GigaChat has got such a high, and they've got such a niche market that so many people want to participate in, whether they're not, whether they are or not a gym bro. But those gym bros, I mean, I could definitely see how they're diamond handing, um, prote shakes and fucking bananas and whatever the fuck. But
yeah, they do have a amazing, like the way they've done things with Giga too. We look at a lot of stuff they do also, and like it's funny to say this. It sounds a little cheesy, but like when we decided, or Lofo decided to community take over that token, like we were like, bro, this is gonna be like a legacy coin. Like we don't give a fuck about how much the market cap is. We want to be able to like have a token that we took over, that we can, like, in a selfish way, in a lot of ways, like, be like, dude, we fucking did that, you know, like our community did that, and we want to win, you know, more than the money, you know, like it's for a lot of us that are, you know, early in the token, we kind of have like a weird obsession with just getting it to the top. You know, it's not really about the money. Like a lot of us don't really care. I would say all the diamond handed dudes, like the 80% of us, literally don't give a shit what the market cap is. We do not care
Reminds me
one
of
bit.
Jules. Jules talks about glory.
A
What a
little bit,
great,
man. You know, I've been in the
yeah.
space for 10 years, man. Like I've been in the space for 10 years. I've done lots of shit in the space. You know, I own a fucking gaming studio. I have all these things. I don't have a meme coin that I've helped run up to billions yet. I would love to do that. I would love to say like fucking me and a bunch of people and a huge community fucking ran something up to insane heights.
Mm-hmm.
That means more to me than making a little extra money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That David talks about his lineage, you know, and then go back to what Rags, he says, so many people keep saying this. I bet on people. And David went off on a diatribe of a monologue from, and I can't even reference all the names because I just don't have that esoteric uh, reference of like 8 old projects from XRP to Cardano to this, that, and the other labs, and he named the names. And it's like, I bet on people. And especially when you're talking about a CTO and people with passion and with a little bit in it, you know, it's not somebody who mortgaged their house or a guy worth 100 million that's putting 300 million on it or and even then, I mean, that's a pretty, you're looking at somebody who has a lot of conviction letting it ride, but betting on betting on people and people that are really in search for, like, I don't know, immortality, but glory and to accomplish something for the sake of accomplishing it, not because they want another Lamborghini or another house. That's a true. Oh, that's a pure goal. Oh,
100%, man. 100%, bro. We got some crazy goals in mind. In fact, man, I got my 2 kids watching me grow this shit. I want them to see it, bro. I want my kids to see this fucking token go to 10 billion.
Yo, my
Without the people, you have nothing.
100,
That's why you have to bet on people.
100%.
That's why I don't bet on tickers.
Yeah, I mean,
You have nothing
like
because
meme coins.
memes is based on
Yeah, it's
sentiment.
social energy, right? Like it is the people. Like memes are. That's what meme coins are. You know, you have to bet on the people, for sure.
oh, dude.
Yeah, because it's based on sentiment and hype. So how is this sentiment going to be positive, and how are you going to create hype if there's no people supporting it? So I always go to who is behind the project, and if we don't know because they're anonymous, I go look at the community, and that's how I make a lot of my decisions on what meme coins to buy.
I'm getting amped up right now. I have to. Let's go, David. Let's go, Jules. Shogun. Vibes. Let's go. Deep.
Yo, it's been 14 hours now.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop down. I gotta get some sleep, bro. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys later.
Pinky, dude, you're the man. I'm gonna keep
Yeah, likewise, brother.
yelling people's names.
Let's go. All right, guys.
Chris
Peace.
Black, I see you, boy. Mopar sent $80,000 back to the community wallet when somebody fat fingered a send A1 Prez Antioch Cordova. We're gonna build a flyer tomorrow, Cordova. Test Sage. Look at all y'all, day in and day out, and not everybody is here. Hip to this, Tony. Dude, we all see you. The value is you. It is us together. We're not stopping. Fucking love it. I'm so bullish on these guys who are the leaders who have been here that I'm learning from. Like it's over. Someone play that fucking track, Shogun. Help me out here, bro.
Shogun, I have to tap out in like 5 minutes because I have like 3 interviews tomorrow. I going on David's show tomorrow and a bunch of shit, so I gotta tap out in 5
God damn
minutes.
it, I'm scaring
All
Ragsy
good.
off. Sorry, Rags.
No,
I
I
need to.
appreciate you. Yo, that was one of the greatest spaces. Did you have fun?
This is one of all the alpha. I think the meat of it was when Jewel, we had Jules, Coco, me, Mo and all debating. Like there was a lot of and Pinky, the guy who just left, there was a lot of just gold information, like OGs, like shit OGs know, but maybe like newer people don't know. That was like that was the information that was dropped in that segment alone was probably in the top, like definitely top 5 best spaces of this entire bull run. Like the info, if you were in here this whole time, that was like fucking gold. So I hope you were paying attention.
Yeah, man, that was insane. What a space, guys. 14 hours later, 104 people in the space, 102 comments, 99 retweets, 19 quote tweets. That's pretty good. 120 likes, 30 bookmarks, 6.6 thousand views on the space so far. And it's been a crying space, sponsored by BUB. Shout out Lil BUB. Tongue stays out.
Cheeks stay wet. Shogun, you're
Well,
you're the
souls, let's
man,
fucking
dude.
go.
You're the man, Shogun. You held it the fuck down today, dude.
I mean, you could keep going. Just pick a new co-host. I gotta peace out though, cause I got shit
No,
lined up
like
for
I'm
tomorrow.
not tired at all. For some reason, I'm just not tired at all.
I
That's
stayed
what
up till
happens
I'm
sometimes.
ready to keep looking at tickers.
I stayed up till 6, slept 6 hours, woke up at 12, kind of got my day going. Did before I jumped on, looked at the charts, opened the computer. 1 o'clock, opened the computer, and there's Shogun. I'm looking at my phone right now. It is 1:07, and so you're going the 12 hours I've been on and off. Like, dude, this is dedication and commitment. Like, you'd have to have a lobotomy and your cerebral cortex removed to not see the dedication, commitment, sacrifice, and passion to this project. And it hasn't been all about crying. This is about being in the space. What's the fucking ticker? Give me the ticker. I remember, dude, Shogun, you were like, hey, y'all get in your call groups. You start asking around, what's the fucking ticker? I want to know it. And it was quiet for like 8 seconds. And you were like, so nobody's got a fucking ticker? I want to know the fucking ticker. You were like pulling it out of everybody. And then y'all got in on, or we're watching FWAC. What else was the other one? Like, this is being up to your eyeballs in it. You want to win, then commit. Have some conviction in the space. This isn't just about crying. This is about all the things you learn along the way that help you tomorrow, in a month, in 4 years. This is part of your story. And this is kind of who crying is. I think a lot of the great projects do it. I know we do it because I spend so much time here. But there's a learning, there's talking about security, there's talking about philosophy of blockchain and future. We talked about Bitcoin. I was on a date, but I kept pretending like I had to go to the bathroom, and I had the spaces on, and I'd listen, just curious what y'all are talking about. Fucking, this is where it's at, man. This is where it's fucking at.
Much love, man. Yeah, I love this community. I could keep going and going and going and going.
That's what
What
she
up,
said.
B Vibes? GM.
Good morning. I see you've been
Morning
having
vibes.
fun.
She probably hasn't had her coffee yet, but she's probably getting up and at it. They're 8 hours ahead, I'm pretty sure.
No, in the UK it's 5 or 6 from East Coast. From me it's 7, so it's 8. Vibes, have you had your coffee?
I don't drink coffee. Can you hear me?
But yeah, that was a true. Unless I'm rugging, can you hear her?
Yeah, I think
No.
you're rugged.
I can't hear anything either.
I can hear her. Maybe
Yeah,
Okay,
just
okay.
take a lap. She'll have to take a lap or something.
Yeah, what a what a legendary space, man.
14 hours is a
Today was
marathon, brother.
Yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. We've been trading tokens, talking about life, talking about crypto, talking about crying, talking about BUB.
Yeah, that's fun.
We've had like we had truly like I don't know like I kept looking at it and being like, what the fuck? There is some crypto royalty, like some crypto absolute legends on the stage. Total net worth probably, you know, maybe more than $1 billion.
It's crazy.
So like you think about the alpha drop there, right? Like these are my buddies, like in terms of just being able to have a conversation. Normally you don't talk about those kind of things. So like being able to be a fly on the wall and listening to the culmination of that many people's entire crypto careers, and then the yeah, it was one opinion, but for them to have formed that opinion and put it effectively communicated into a sentence, like that's worth its weight in gold,
Facts.
because you can't get that in a book. By the time you write it in a book, it's already too late. You get what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hell yeah, I do.
So like the value of that, the reason why these spaces is like the mecca of this type of alpha is because it happens live. It's a stream of live information coming from our thoughts and our brains. Depending on which brains they are, they could be like experts within an area, right? So just sharing that information, globalization at our fingertips, it's really a special phenomenon.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. People's crypto journeys, man, like everybody has their story, right? You know, we all have our losses, we all have our big wins. And I don't know, like those stories are valuable, whether they are wins or whether they're losses, they're all valuable. Because what it does is it helps people throughout their process. Anybody who's just onboarding into crypto and really don't know what they're looking for, you know, the best thing that we have for them is telling them our experiences, and then they can take those experiences and try to apply them to their own, you know, journey, and see what works and see what doesn't work for themselves, and then form their own stories, and when they get their big win, you know, they're going to be up here one day, you know, on your space telling their story of what they've experienced in this space. And it's just fun, man. Like this whole crypto journey has been just so epic, you know, throughout the years. You know, from my first crypto encounter of buying, you know, or actually not even buying, but participating in an ICO, the EOS ICO way back in the day, and just looking at it and being like, whoa, what the fuck is this? Like, this is awesome. And downloading my first wallet, you know, I think mine was Gemini maybe, or whatever one was linked to EOS back in the day. That would be, I think it's called Gemini. I don't even remember. It's so long ago, 2017 maybe. But dude, it's insane. It's you know what's really insane is just seeing how the space has just changed over the years. What the what people are doing these days, and what how people are, you know, creating different opportunities for people.
We're crying.
Like people crying, bro. Straight
Dude,
crying.
everybody's fucking crying. Haters are crying. Jeets will be crying even harder. We'll be crying all the way to the fucking Fort Knox. Yeah.
I'm crying right now.
I like that attitude. So am I, man.
You guys are
Yeah, I
kind of
liked your
making me tear up too a little bit.
I liked your bio, Crypto Wave Rider. Your
Thanks,
true
man.
worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So your value is not the things you own. It reminds me of Bob Marley. Am I rich in material? No. It's about what you give. My mom always used to say, to whom much is given, much is asked. And so if
Bro,
you're a
that's
strong
crazy.
person or someone, there's another good one. A wise a wise man or woman plants trees whose shade they know they will never sit in. Oh shit, man. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in this.
Is
this
anybody crying right now after that? That was beautiful.
yeah, I mean, shit, I was crying while I was saying it.
Shoot. Love it, dude.
Shit.
Shoot. But no, man, for real, dude. It's like I think a lot of people don't realize like their true value of what they can bring to the crypto space until they they participate in a project. You know, like I don't even remember like I'm trying to remember the first project I ever participated in. You know, and it was just something as simple as shilling my bags. Like I didn't know how valuable that was then. It's just a simple shill. And it's like, you know, people these days, like sometimes they don't even realize how important just that simple thing is. That word of mouth marketing. And when it happens from the like the whole community or at least half of the community, like it's valuable. And then from there, you know, you see how else you can like level up in the space and provide more valuable. I mean, I've seen so many friends like just do so many different things in the space and grow. I remember one of my friends who just got good at using Twitter. You know, she was amazing at just leading a Twitter. And then she went from that to creating her own call channel. And then from her own call channel, she now serves as an advisor for crypto projects. And it all just started from doing a very simple thing. I mean, it's awesome.
I like that. Bradley, what's up, man? Yeah, I think I might have seen your.
Yeah, I think we bumped into each other somewhere earlier. Were you at Meme Coin Monday?
No, I missed
By
Meme
chance?
Coin Monday. What's going on, man?
Not much, just chilling. I seen you guys had a space going, and you guys are a vibe, man. 14 hours, that's sick. Just got done doing a 24-hour one uh, with my crew.
Oh, is this a pissing contest?
No, no, no. I'm just saying I love them.
We're
They're
gonna do
No,
awesome.
it's cool.
25 now.
We did 168 hours. That's 7 times
Takes some
24.
fortitude. That's all I'm saying. I love it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
14 hours is a hard day.
Yeah, it's when it's passion. Do what you love. You never work a day in your life.
For
That's
sure, dude.
right.
That's where I'm at. For sure. A
Dude,
year and a
I
half is
say I say it in every space, man. How freaking cool is it that we get to talk to people from all over the world on a daily basis?
it's the greatest tool, communication tool there is, man. Spaces is, has the biggest reach. Not Space, but X is like the reach is crazy. You meet people you would never meet, in real life. And to think I faded Spaces, I wouldn't speak in them for my whole first year in crypto. Like I was just nervous. I thought I would sound like Pee Wee Herman thrown in a blender or some shit. But like now that I've done it, I love it. Like
Most
it
spaces don't. Well, I don't want to speak too generally, but uh, I always have something to say. My big fat ass mouth and walnut brain. But I would always have to be, go on stage. And even in relatively smaller groups where there probably wasn't another request and there was plenty of room for speakers, I wouldn't get pulled up. And yet, first off, you need to like kind of earn your stripes, pay your dues type thing, and I
Right.
get that, which kind of makes it so important not to change your PFP because people get to see that. But you're also developing relationships, and that takes time. And so I understood that. But Jules and Nobu always had a really kind of open door policy, which was really nice. And uh, especially Jules, he's so amicable. And hey, man, who are you? What's going on? What's going on, man? And you kind of get the opportunity to introduce yourself, and then also kind of give your 2 cents. And if it's of any, something appreciable, then you ask to go on stage again. And Shogun, his policy is that as well. We had our raid chat yesterday evening, and two guys came on stage, and it was kind of late at night, and turns out they were on the other side of the world, and so they were, in the middle of the day. They had a little more energy, I think, than we did, and
Yeah, I get that.
but they came in kind of hot, and they were talking over each other, and they started saying something and upset one of our long-term holders, and MG, and but Shogun was really, he kept it in front of him, and he was patient. And there's a couple other people. Rags was there, and we all said, look, we don't speak over each other in this space, and this isn't like they had used some derogatory language, and this is a space of respectability. People who are here to learn, and so that out of so many distractions that can be out there in the world, when you have an open stage, you're actually opening yourself to the vulnerability of that happening. And a lot of people in our chat were saying, man, get these guys, they're obviously trolling. And it turned out that we had a really good conversation, particularly Japan. I think he was quicker to kind of get hip to our jive and contribute. And who's to say if whether he was telling the truth, but he ended up buying our coin, so he told us. But having an open stage and making people feel welcome that their voice can be heard is definitely like a climate or an atmosphere that I really like about. I mean, Shogun, I don't know if you just, sometimes I feel like you just pull people up who aren't even asking. And but yeah, I mean, people come up here and spit it, you know.
Yeah, and it does leave it's dangerous to do sometimes. I'm a Spaces host myself, just getting started, just trying to get my name out there. But yeah, sometimes you invite some drama, and you need to, as the host, you got to be able to squash it and let calmer heads prevail, and kind of no, even if what the person's saying upset you, you got to just take that breath and kind of bring order back to back to the situation. We do a lot of chill spaces, and a lot of them are late night. Around this time I'm East Coast, so it's 3:30 in the morning right now, and yeah, so anything after midnight is like asking for trouble. Uh, if you have an open forum, open mic, chill space, because you don't know who's coming up at all.
Yeah, true that. Agreed.
It's a lot of fun though.
On
I know, but you
Nobu's.
need some chaos in life. It gets very boring otherwise.
Yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Agreed vibes.
Yeah, it's got to be a
Says one of the
balance.
most like proper and articulate and what is it, educated, like you're or formal, like vibe of this vibe about yourself, and then you go, but sometimes you need a little chaos. You know what I'm saying?
She is very well spoken. Not chaotic at
It's a
all.
vibe.
Chris, what's going on, man? I'm
Yo,
excited to keep talking with the guys. We'll say more on that as it develops. But that was a really good conversation, and that's you stepping up. I love it.
the space was fire today. The space was fire. So did you guys record any of that? Like the past like 2 hours when everybody was speaking? Thoughts?
Yeah, I got it.
Oh yeah, that was good. That was fire. I was like, man, it's good to just be able to sit in listening to those conversations. You could soak up so much. There's no other platform where you can ask real time. Like OGs in the game, their outlook. Get real time alpha. That shit's tight. Love these spaces, man. And it's just the beginning. The community is going to continue to form. The alpha is going to continue to get better. So it's so early. That's like the most exciting part. That there's so much more to come. So.
Amen, brother.
So what we got going on? You guys want to find some tickers, chill? What's the vibe?
Shit, Shogun's always down to find the tickets.
Yo, I'm down. Yo, did Roar get reported on Medium?
I just found that. I found that article. I was like, oh, this is fire, bro. Like once people find this out, this can really send it. And then it's still at like 4.3 million from where you said it's a little bit higher.
Reported on what?
Roar. It's
Yeah, no, I know the XD. Well, reported on what, Shogun? I didn't hear that.
On Medium, I think he said.
yeah, it's a Medium post.
Medium is open source journalism. Anybody can post there. A lot of people conflate it
Yeah.
with like someone writing about them, but it's individual independent journalists that can post anything. If you double click into their profile, a lot of independent writers that don't have contributing like journalist deals with Forbes or CoinStats or like I don't know. They'll go there, but the good writers have good minds, and they can. Some of them have like concentrated topics that they really like, and others have good minds that they can speak and develop a good thesis or insights on other things. And there's you can see on their profile. So maybe double click in that. If it was someone worth their salt, maybe it might have more traction. But um, Medium. Medium's one of the things. Anybody can say anything they want. There, I don't know. It's
Like
kind of a
Wikipedia.
yeah.
Yeah. Is this a? Do you guys chill in here, or no? I mean, I have a couple tickers.
Nah, bro, you can't chill.
All right.
Nah, I'm just messing with you.
No, oh yeah, but be good with it. Be good with it. Give us your first one. We'll see how it goes. Your
All
favorite.
right. Can I throw something up in the jumbo or?
Wait a minute. Have you retweeted the room?
Oh, I think I did.
Think. Good
I
job. Good job,
I
Shogun.
definitely
Think.
did, and I bookmarked it, and I liked it, and yeah.
Okay,
So
as long as you retweeted the room,
that's
and you
usually the
also,
first thing.
yeah, you gotta also let us know like what's the range of market cap. Like, is it lower or higher? Or what type of market cap are you looking at?
We're looking at lower to 60 to 100 right now.
That's
He
fine.
did.
That's perfect.
Our
That's
all-time
exactly
high
what I
was
want.
He
280.
did retweet the room. Well
Okay,
done,
that
my brother
It's
that's
always
a
the
Pat.
first thing I do. I know, and bookmark because it increases visibility by 25% for sure, and it's just good manners. So,
Ooh, the M word. What
all
is chill? Drop the album. Drop the ticket.
right, man. So, what is adorable, instantly recognizable, and annoying as fuck? It's do 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 baby shark, right? We've all heard it. We love it or we hate it. Either like myself, I have 6 kids, and I thought if I heard that song one more time, I'd probably die. Uh, I found a new appreciation for it. The tickers do, right? So we launched on Pump Fun 2 days ago. We were on Pump Fun for about 24 hours, hit Radium, and we have just been trading ever since. We got a whole team of just traders and straight degens, just grinding on this coin. We're hitting a little bit of resistance, but we know once we break through this resistance at about 50-60K, we are freaking out of here. We are gonna
Y'all are at
Do
send.
you know what would
50K.
help with the resistance? If you do a meme with a baby shark and crying cat, that will help a lot. I can believe you me.
It's DCA bots. So we are actively, making our own chart as a community, trading it. And once we are past that, it is going to send it. That song is so viral. Everybody's heard it, every country. I don't care who you are, you've heard it at least one time in your life. Um, and you either love it or hate it.
I love the recognizability of it is definitely there. I'm not sure if it's crypto Twitter's swan song. Um, crypto Twitter has definitely acknowledges certain things that everybody acknowledges, and it runs. I'm looking at this chart, this interesting chart, and what's funny is literally 2 minutes ago, I had someone I've never seen before said, "Molon, you need to watch something brilliant," and they used the name of the developer who I've seen before, and I don't know to speak on his reputation. So and so is doing deliberate sell downs to screw the farmers and Jeters and announcing on stage and doxing everything. First, he sold from the dev wallet to trigger all the bots. And it was this is very interesting what was written to trigger all the bots to sell on the DS notice and then told all of us to buy in. Then he sold from his dev wallet and forced it down 50% and then told everyone to buy in before he reloaded with the funds that the project had earned. Pretty genius. He is teaching
Absolutely.
people how to diamond hand and add to their positions literally by showing his hand on the spaces. Doo doo, baby shark. Keep an eye on it because he, I think this is, keeps raising the floor with each one. Yeah, the chart's interesting. So it's what, a 2 day old play,
Yep. And
250K more or less, ATH.
no, it was 230, 250 was ATH.
Yeah, well, I mean, close enough, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
$26,000 double bottom almost. Yeah, I
And
mean it's cute and everybody knows the stupid fucking song. Whether or not everybody's gonna get behind it, I don't know. I don't know, it might be
abs-
a high risk play. What do you think, Shogun?
Explain the whole trading part of it. Like, what's the proprietary advantage that you have?
I think
uh,
it sounds like the dev ripped it and then ripped on everybody and then told them, "Hey, buy it now," and did it again. I don't know. I mean, if that's the case, I
so
don't know if he did the first rip on Pump Fun. Were you there, Pump Fun,
yeah,
Bradley?
I've been there since the beginning. And actually, the crazy part is that the tokens that I had were airdropped to me by him. He gave me my position. It wasn't a huge position, but so I was there for Pump Fund. We were on Pump Fund for about 24 hours on Spaces the whole time, and then once we got off Pump Fund, we kind of stayed at like 25 for a little bit, and then we started pumping those DCA bots, which we believe were some people that just don't like them, nefarious. You know, they were kind of nefarious. We were tracking wallets and doing our due diligence, and they just beat the piss out of us. And they brought us all the way down. We pumped again, and they did it again. So on the third pump, then we started making our own market and trying to find their rate you know their rate tolerances. So
Yeah, I don't quite understand, but yeah, I mean, if you had bought in up anywhere over 60, 3 days old, you're still below 50. Did a
I've heard of
10x.
I've heard of Dudu like a couple times. I've seen a couple spaces. Is Casper in that? Casper's in that, right?
yep.
Yeah, maybe they could get this. I mean, it's an interesting kind of concept I haven't heard before. It's funny. I don't know who this person is. I don't follow them, and I don't know why they reached out to me. But then again, I've been getting a lot of messages lately.
He's
Yeah,
got
I
a
mean,
lot of eyes on him.
it's just a floor, you know.
Yeah, no, perfectly understandable. We are all convicted. Uh, Casper is one of the most motivating people I've ever met. He inspires me and everybody else. He's 100% transparent, and he urges us to check his wallets, check everybody's wallet. DYR, and one of our we sat down and made 8 rules the other night, and one of our rules is you have to take your initial before 7 times. So it can be anywhere from 1 time to 6 times. But by 7 times, you have to at least take your initial and are urged to take a little bit of profit. That way, your risk is limited. Like, that's literally a rule. And all of our wallets are doxed.
Yeah. What are your curious, Bradley? What are your like 3 biggest bags? Like, do you actually hold anything and plan to hold it through the bull run, or do you just like to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are
I'm
those?
all right. I'm a community guy. So a year and a half ago, I didn't know when crypto was or an NFT. I found at the Ant's Nest. We recently launched our coin Ant. I've been part of that
No, no, no,
community
no,
for.
no. I'm talking about like, do you hold anything that's above like a 50 or 100 million market cap?
Oh no, nope,
Oh, so okay. So no, actually.
no.
Well, cool.
Brett Gold is the biggest hold that I hold.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Well, there's one. Yeah. Well, right on, dude. Not a bad show. We'll look at it. Anybody do your own research? Jay Chan, dude, you were up late with me last night, weren't you? God, family, freedom, fitness, investor, digital assets, and collector of art. Pepe, Mog. Weren't you up with me till like 3 at least?
I think I was up till like 2 o'clock in the morning last night.
Was
Or
it?
no, maybe like 1 or 2. Yeah.
Oh, it was later than that, homie.
I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, I always stay up pretty late.
We had a good time last night. Shogun, you fell asleep at.
Yeah, I did, man. Fuck, man. My bad.
No, we held it down. Board held it down. He got off at 4 something. That's the second time in the last week, 4 o'clock my time, Board has gone to the park to get to touch grass. And so the kid doesn't sleep. And he goes at 6 o'clock to the park. Like, what in the hell is this guy having for fucking breakfast? Is what I want to know.
That's a New Yorker for you, bro. The park
Dude,
is
just
probably like just like a back alley.
yeah. Happy Moon in the house. Man, I'm stoked to. Was it happy that you were speaking about Etsy and
Yeah.
Pinterest? Dude, I'm stoked about that. I'm super stoked for happy about that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I mean, it, it, I'm not being condescending, but you have got to be on Etsy and Pinterest if that's your market. And Shogun just, I mean, at first when he was kind of digging a little, I mean, I think some of that is proprietary or being apropos, being well mannered and polite, and taking interest and getting to know people because that's that's how you find out. And then within 3 minutes, Shogun was like all over that, like white on rice and a paper cup and a blizzard. So I bet you, yeah, that's hella fucking bullish. Happy, hella bullish. How was your day, anyhow?
I agree. It's very bullish.
Hmm. Jules, I love it. He's probably got his volume turned down and his phone's plugged in and he's passed out. But he's still here, the spirit of that fucking monkey with his damn Coke bottle glasses. Rob Dog, my brother. G Cruz, man. I see you. What's going on, man? Maybe you're not a speaker. Cozy Co's. Cozy Co's on the ones and twos at TikTok.
I'm not. Am I? Is my? I think my X is wigging out. I'm seeing on your screen is Bradley and Chris speakers right now because it says that they're listeners.
No, it says they're speakers.
Oh, okay. It's not even updating for me for whatever reason. I can't even see who's a speaker and who's not a speaker.
Yeah. Yeah, I experienced that too. On mobile on my iPhone, Spaces runs a lot cleaner. Updates speakers and mute buttons, and you could actually bring people up and down. A1 Mopar. Mopar's also, what is it? About 12, little late or late morning. She's probably working, just listening. Anti-Rock. Cordova. That's such a badass image. It's very distinctive and eye-catching. Anybody needs any graphic design stuff, Cordova's the man. Wild West. Well, hey there, Chuck Norris. Howdy. Test Sage. What's up? Crash. Crash is another high conviction play. If you don't know, take a look at it. DNN in the house. Pester the Investor. That name has just got a ring to it. Delaney. Tikirisi.
We have 97 people in here, Mohan. That's cool though, recognizing people that support us.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, they show up hip to this. They show up every day. I mean, if it's not these, look, there's Geo. Geo and I had a conversation we probably should have had in a private Telegram chat last night for 2 hours in front of about 30 people. Padron. There's Michelle. Mamba. Spitting good love and vibes. JW Fritz, Cape Coral. If you want to go get out on the water, drink some ice cold Budweisers. He's your guy. Learning quick. Dr. Crip. Leoila. I mean, we're not done, y'all. I mean, if y'all think we're done, that's your opinion, man. Just
It ain't
people.
over till it's over.
MG, a new grandbaby. She said that the grandbaby she gave her a birth present of some crying. Oh, look at this. Crypto chuds can't buy a personality. You look divorced. The old Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton, the glove. Kevin Durant, that could have been a completely different story. Tools Fresh, Ethanos. Jesus, we got Jesus in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Jesus has entered the chat.
He is with us.
Jesus, do unto others as they would do unto you. Jesus, thank you. Thank you for everything you've done. Y'all, for some of the, I see kind of some newer faces in here, actually. Crying Cat was a Pumped Up Fun token on June 16th at the Dev Rugged. It sat for 55 days. Nobu, the infamous Crypto Night 420. Nobu. What's the fucking ticker? Holding his nightly spaces on Friday, August the 9th. Zeep had a clinic he put on that night. I went out, came home drunk at about 12, hung out with the boys until 4 when David, the ETH Maxi, who hates the Jeters on Solana, called a OG meme from 2014 at this dev rug 50 to 5 days before. And it sat there for about 30 minutes. David said something about it. We laughed at him. We kept talking about other stuff. David kept harping on it. We're all deliriously tired at this point. 4 o'clock my time, 6:30 a.m. Eastern. Next thing you know, people start kind of clipping into it, and then it just started to run. And 39 hours later, we hit an all-time high of 10 million dollars. It was a CTO. We scrambled, put everything together, teamwork, dream work. And we've gone through 3 weeks, really about 10 days of some serious attacks and FUD on people's character. The classic naysayer, low life mentality, low vibrational energy. We've endured shitty market, but spirits are high. We've got a lot developing in the background. Strong meme community with heart, work ethic. Really great meme. Then we got some people who've been around a long time who have decided to put a stake in the ground and say, I'm going to put my name on this. And it's inspired a lot of us, me included. And so we're building. Anybody close to the project can see it. And it's a good entry right now. Ticker crying. And whoa, look at that. We're not going down anymore.
Yeah, we've had a nice reversal today. Like, yeah, like all day. So this space has really helped probably too.
Yeah,
With
it's tough.
positive vibes like the last couple days too. I think it's really helped.
Yeah. Well, it's you got to go through it, and it shakes out the weak hands, and that's quite literally the sellers in the market, and then other people who are willing to go, this is a good risk reward, maybe come to our spaces. Um, and then for those of us who don't leave, who go through this uncertainty and fear and doubt, we're not out of the woods. I know a lot of people who are big wallet holders who've contacted me asking me if I know anything, and I say my spiel. I'm not going anywhere. And this is a long run, several month play where you can sleep on the chart. You can learn a lot being close to good people who are focused on having good energy, positivity, not speaking poorly of other people and putting them down and being distracted by the noise during a time and a high risk emerging technology like Web3 blockchain, where there's so much opportunity and so much to learn. Time is of the essence. And yeah, nobody got time for that. So it's a great group of guys. There's a bunch of people out there doing it right, and I'd like to think that the people that I've surrounded myself with are as well.
That was just such a good convo, man. Like for that whole like last 2 hours, so intellectual, so like so much knowledge and wisdom just passed down from straight up experience. There's no way you could fathom a conversation like that without having multiple decades across everyone that was pitching in with their opinions on that. Like that was invaluable. That conversation.
Fuck, I'm pissed I missed
It was
it.
crypto gold.
Yeah, went on a date, got out of a relationship of about 3 months, and went on a date with a girl who gives me those eyes every time I see her. But I'm a loyal guy. I like doing it one at a time. Probably didn't come out right, but went to the bathroom about every 15 minutes and just turned the volume up, listened to y'all cut it up a little bit, and took her home, dropped her off, and back on spaces, man. I don't know if I'll be able to do
Did you leave her crying?
No, I didn't. No,
Was she pissed?
no. We had
Where her cheeks were.
that vibe.
Damn, he's got an active bladder. Damn.
No, it's this was like a first date. We went and had some tapas and then went to a bar. I had a couple catajios, a couple beers. She said I just want one drink. I can't stay long, and she ended up having three and some of my beer. So I think that's a success. I'm a long run
Keeper.
player.
She's a keeper.
That's the funniest story I heard. You're on Spaces the whole time.
Dude, I was. Like every time she went to the bathroom, I pulled my phone out, pulled the volume up, went and took a pee every chance I could get.
I don't even know how to date. I'm newly divorced after 17 years of marriage. So. I don't even know how to date.
Uh,
It's like riding a bike. You never forget. Best advice: be yourself. Be yourself, and
Well, you say that, but they didn't have Tinder when I was dating. There was no Tinder. It's like AOL chat rooms, I guess.
join some run groups. Go
go out and
places where
sing
you.
some karaoke, bro.
Yeah, I mean that the dating apps are really, unless you can really put on a good like vanity, like optics. You're facing headwinds. Just the organic, man. Be yourself.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
be
not
too
even
desperate.
looking. I have 5 daughters. I'll pass for now. That's enough women right now.
5 daughters?
There
Yeah,
you
and one
go.
son.
Dang, bro. I have one. I love her to death.
Dang,
They're
five
awesome.
daughters. What did you do?
Well,
Everything.
when a
People always
daddy aunt loves a mommy aunt.
no. It's not. Yeah, coming from the guy who's got. Oh no, that's a wasp, not a bumblebee. Talking about the birds and the bees. Um, no, I've always had people tell me, Alex, you're gonna have all daughters, and it's just like, why do people say that? You know?
Dude, I gotta say, being a father to a daughter is so freaking awesome. It also shows me like how much of a big piece of shit I was when I was a lot younger. Not gonna lie. Now I'm like thinking to myself, like, okay, this is good that I have the experience that I have being a piece of shit because I will be able to protect my daughter now from other pieces of shit. And then, yeah, now I could show her what a good man looks like at the same time. So it's pretty dope.
You'll get
That's
over
right.
all that the first time you have to go into a store to buy your feminine hygiene products.
No, man, that's it's probably a slap in the face, like eye opening kind of. Oh shit. Yeah, man. A father for a girl serves as a role model on how women are treated by how a man treats his wife and even his divorced ex-wife, and also through the love of of directly to the child. So men play a vital part of young women's development, and yeah, man. I mean, I bet having 5 daughters, you got to lead by example. Love them, be a good man.
Yep, absolutely. Just be there, and it was the most amicable divorce ever.
Uh-huh. And then when they grow up, they're going to be attracted to good men like daddy.
Yeah, my oldest is a combat medic in the army, and she doesn't take any shit. And my second oldest is going to be a state trooper, so also not going to take any shit.
Oh, you got the hookup.
Dude, you sound super young, bro.
I'm 42, so when I met my wife, she had 2 daughters, 1 and a 2-year-old daughters, who are now my oldest 2 daughters. I raised them since they were 1 and 2, and then we had 4 together.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for
That's
you, bro.
crazy. We also got Mills and Dr. Yahir on stage. I see you guys got your hands up. Welcome to the stage.
What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
Hello, everyone.
Hey guys, you good?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, man. Just a quick one. I'm just doing the school run, taking my daughter to school. I just wanted to say thanks to the crying community. I've been in crying since 10K, since day one. I was in Nobu's space, and I just literally missed a couple of plays that Zeep had cooked, and I was upset with myself because I was sleeping because I'm in the UK, and I managed to get in crying literally at 10K, and I couldn't have found a better community than you guys, and I'm so happy and proud to be a community member, and I took a little bit of profits when we got to like 7-8 mil, but I'm still holding the rest of my bag because I believe in the community.
Hell yeah, dude. So you're the guy that's selling that all these haters are trying to blame on me and Jules and David, huh? You need to come clean with these fucking guys, all right?
No, not at all. I just took a little bit of profits and like my initials, and I'm still holding the rest.
I'm just playing around. I'm just messing around. Well, hell yeah, dude. I feel like I might have seen your PFP once or twice. The 3D glasses. I think that's what they are. The one blue, one red. Usually that's what they're. Hell yeah, dude. You were there early that morning.
Yeah, man. Because I remember when you came on and then you were giving away tokens. I remember that morning, man.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that. I remember that because when David was talking about crying, he was like, you guys are just a bunch of cheats because it started at 10K and then I think it went to like 20K, 15K, and then a few people started to cheat, and then like no one was taking it seriously, and then man, it was just a magical ride, and I'm still in it. I'm happy to be part of the community, man.
Hell yeah, Mills. Well, glad to have you here. You know, it's a CTO, so if you've got any creative ideas, any feedback, constructive criticism, we're here to get better and to challenge ourselves and watch us build, help us build. But the fact that you've round trip the moon bag, you're still here in the spaces. We're not done, man. We're not going anywhere. This is a cycle play here. We're going into the banana zone, and it's so cool because we have people come up, every now and then and say, "Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was there that night, and there's 120 something people there, and uh, it's cool. It's cool to have people come and connect the dots and remind us of that night, especially when we're down here at the bottom trying to establish a floor.
Definitely, man. Because you remember, like earlier on, Ragsy was talking about investing in the communities instead of just the ticker. And I think, like, if you just look at the crying community and the people behind it, then you are in the right place.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. That's such is my assessment.
Perfect.
How,
So sorry, Marlon, I'm going to drop down. I'm just dropping off my daughter at school, but thanks for having me on the stage.
hey, Mills, don't be a stranger. Come back, man. We'll see you soon. Talk to you soon.
Definitely. Take care. Thank you, guys.
Likewise. Dr. Yahir,
What up, Malone?
man, the
Hey,
sun, moon,
everyone.
and the stars. What's going on?
I'm just here, man. I just wanted to say it's a pleasure being here in the spaces. I've actually been here like for three or no, when the project actually started, I was here with you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, they're like day one, day two, day three, first
Yeah,
week.
actually, no, the first day.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, man. I was listening to you guys. I'm actually kind of new to crypto, and I just like really felt really like in family with you guys. So I just keep on coming to space with you guys.
Hell yes, dude. Comfortable. I thought you were going to say comfortable.
Yeah,
And
my
that's
English
not a
not
feeling
that
you get
well.
all the time.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
Yeah, no. No, I interrupted you. Keep going.
No, I'm sorry for my English. I'm from Mexico. I know you're living in Mexico too, bro.
Sí, ¿hablas español o qué pedo, güey?
Claro que sí.
Ah, perro. ¿Dónde andas? ¿Cuál lado?
Michoacán.
Michoacán. A la
Ay,
verga.
güey.
Me gusta la ticla, güey.
¿Sí?
Sí, a huevo, ya, yo voy al Oaxaca, Puerto Escondido por un mes, tal vez mes y media. Necesito volver aquí una o dos veces y luego creo que voy a pasar al Nexpa, Ticla,